Who's ready for the Dirt Life Show?
Welcome to episode 86 of the Dirt Life Show. Thank you guys very much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Sorry for the technical difficulties. The application that we use for streaming, I'm just going to throw it out there. It's called, perfect. Hold, please. I wanted to do that to a guy that had a flat tire in a semi in the trailer because he didn't know. He just kept cruising. Welcome to episode 86 of the Dirt Life Show. I'm going to put these guys that we use Telestream Wirecast on Front Street because their application has been totally sucking today. So Google, please fix your shit. Thank you very much for joining us on this fabulous Monday night. We're starting the show over, so I'm going to redo the introductions that we just did.
Oh, you nailed that first one too.
And so we are in Phoenix, Arizona. We really thank all of the guys at Jeffries Performance for letting us come and visit them today. Jeffries Performance is one of the leaders in off-road builds across the country, but most notably here in Arizona. They do all kinds of cool builds like this build behind us here called Gotti. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in the show today. To my far left, your guys' right, we have Lindsey Geiser, professional off-road racer. Like I said before, college graduate, and we're going to call her a creative director for many brands, man. She's worked for Rigid Industries. She's worked, obviously, with Jeffries Performance now, doing all of their creative direction. And she has many other clients that are very, very happy with all the work that she does. Welcome, Lindsey.
Thank you. Hello.
So how are you doing today? You're a little sick, I guess, under the weather?
Little under the weather. I'm on a lot of drugs right now, legal drugs.
So we'll see what she says today.
Business as usual around here, I guess.
Hey, well, thanks for being a trooper and sitting in with us.
Thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. And then to my immediate left, in the middle of your guys' screen, we have RJ, Richard Jeffries from Jeffries Performance. RJ has I want to say lived in normalcy through some of his tenure as an adult, and now he operates, like I said, one of the best UTV builders in the state of Arizona. RJ is a go-getter, to say the least, and man, we're going to get into some really fun stuff with RJ. Maybe even Lindsey has some funny stories with some of the stuff that RJ's done in the past, but he's ridden wheelies in a side-by-side, which most of us haven't done. He's done all kinds of cool car tuning, and this car behind us is one of the fastest cars on the planet. So welcome, RJ.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. I'm gonna record that just alone. It's gonna be my ringtone. Just tell me everything good about myself.
Right, you got nice shoes. Hey, you know what? One thing that I did know, though, because I do wardrobe change before most of the shows, I made sure that I didn't wear a black T-shirt because I knew you'd be all blacked out.
Yeah, that's all we
Yeah,
wear.
it's pretty much. If you go into our closet at home, it's not only that, it's myself and my girlfriend. It's all black, so we try
Johnny Cash all day.
You know what? It just goes with everything, and it's slimming. I'm like a little propane tank with legs. So anything that's slimming for me, I just go with because it's like medium husky season for me. So that's the color of choice.
That's awesome, man. Well, I guess I did kind of do black. I got black shorts on, so. One of the things that Lindsey and I were joking about earlier is Ryan Edwards over at KMC keeps giving me long sleeves, dude.
It's because you're California.
No, it's because he's like, yo, this is in my truck and nobody else is taking it.
Dude, probably. Actually, I should give a shout out to them. So all of this merch that I've been wearing lately, you can go to wheelmerch.com. They got all kinds of cool stuff over there. KMC stuff, EFX stuff. I think they even got Rotiform and all kinds of car brands. So wheelmerch.com has all kinds of crazy cool stuff. Before we get into the show, let's kind of go over what we're going to talk about. Well, thanks to our sponsors. I just wanted to say we lost a really awesome person in the motocross world this past week. His name was Scott Sheik, professional dirt bike racer that I looked up to when I was a little guy. And it's really sad to see that motocross can be such a hard sport. But, man, he left doing what he loved. That's what his family posted. And we just wanted to give our condolences to his family, his Amy wife, their two stepchildren they had. And, man, motocross is one of the most loved sports, but it can be vicious at times. So if you guys have any will to contribute, roadtorecovery.com, road and the number 2 recovery.com. You can go over there and you can give donations to his family so that they can help pay for some of the medical bills and things like that. Scott was a very awesome person, and we're going to miss him for sure. A couple other things that I want to talk about tonight was something that's very familiar to both of you guys, and that's pivoting careers. It's something that's familiar to me, because I've had to do it a couple times in my life, and I'm really interested to see your guys' transition from what you were doing previously to what you guys have now. So I want you guys to all comment in too to see if any of you guys in the audience have any similar stories, or maybe you even know RJ in his previous occupation, or Lindsey before she went to college or something. So it'd be cool to see some of those stories. Todd Zuccone of Evo Powersports. You guys know that dude, right?
Todd Z.
That's Todd Z, baby.
And
That's
so
my right-hand man.
one of the best dudes in the business, man. Todd's going to call in at 5:30. We'll have a little bit of a chat with him. He's got his son, Jacob, I think is probably going to be watching this show. So welcome to him, or say hi to him too. Ryan Edwards from KMC Wheels is going to call in at 6:15. And one of the things that I think is really cool about everything that they do over here at Jeffries is not only do they build some of the baddest machines on the planet, but they also do a very, very good job at branding, marketing, and media. And I think that's something that any of the guys, racers, side-by-side enthusiasts, can all get along with and really appreciate. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that today. And then the last thing I want to talk about that we always talk about on the show is family. A lot of you guys really rely and support your family with all of the things that you do on a daily basis. You communicate with your family, loved ones, girlfriends, whatever it is. So I want to make sure that we talk about that a little bit today. We share some sponsors and friends in the business too.
Oh,
the guys at KMC Wheels.
best in the game.
Yeah, best in the game. I think Gotti has some KMC Wheels on her too, huh?
Yeah, she's rocking some grenades, all blacked out. Ryan.
What's special about those wheels, though?
Honestly, those are off-the-shelf grenades. The only thing that we changed up, we went the black.
Here we go. We'll give it a good camera angle. Now you can give a good description of her.
Black center caps, and then we went ahead and blacked out all of the beadlock rings. I wanted to make sure it was all uniform. As
dude,
weird
even black bolts too.
Everything. Black
nice,
top to
dude.
bottom. And they pop. I mean, for an all-black wheel, it pops.
Nice and shiny.
Yeah.
Matches everything. That does look pretty good. So we want to thank those guys over at KMC Wheels, man. They've been a huge supporter of the show. That's why I'm always trying to pump them as much as possible. The way that I actually met RJ was through Justin over at Shock Therapy. So I want to thank those guys at Shock Therapy for being such a great company to work for or work with. Tomorrow, I get to actually go help, since Justin's not here, I get to go help with the live feed.
There you go. That's been doing well. I think I got to applaud them on that. You talk about good marketing.
Yeah.
I think the live feed, I tune in it's like every Thursday.
Sitting at your desk looking at it, eating lunch?
Yeah, no, I love it. Favorite characters, definitely Tube Sock Steve.
Yep.
I mean, how he doesn't have his own hit show right now is beyond me.
Tube Sock Steve.
Like, how does he not have his own
on the
show?
Nickelodeon network? It's because he's R-rated, dude.
Justin, if you're out there, put your eggs in that basket, buddy. Like, just push him, because that's a gold mine right there. He's great, but everybody at Shock Therapy, I can't imagine a better company to work with when it talks. Mitch
has tuned almost all of the shocks that I've had on my vehicles. Man, he kills it too.
You want to know what? Unfortunately, Mitch has tuned my shocks, because every time I do something on my car, like if it's me, without fail, this is a true story. I remember I was in Glamis, and I called him from the hill. I was like, dude, I'm
it sucks.
Everything. Isn't that? I'm like, dude. And he had this real, like, you know how Mitch has that, like, kind of smug, like, swagger, like, he's so confident in everything he does. I pull in.
He already knows the answer while you're saying it.
I walked out. He goes, I was like, dude, I adjusted the clickers. I'm all the way in. He goes, no, you're all the way out, dude. But
so he already knew?
Yeah, they're great guys. They're absolutely phenomenal company. Everybody there, from Ernie and everybody in the shop, they have an amazing team.
We already had a couple comments come in. Burke Forsythe said, RJ's Ascension has been fun to watch. It really has, dude. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today.
Burke was my neighbor. So he's,
really?
Yeah, he was my neighbor across the street. So he literally saw me.
He knows everything?
When I moved in. Yeah, he's seen it all.
Hey, bud, good coming in. Some funny stories. RJ walking out trying to get the mail in his boxers or something.
That's bad news. He's probably got some stories for sure. Definitely some parties he's seen.
And then David P. says, Lindsey Geiser's in the house. Yeah, she's right over here, man. But
David's
this is
a long time.
we'll have to change his comment, though, because we're actually in their house today. So, Mike Scholik said, Jeffries tuned his ride, and it's killer. What ride do you have, Mike? Do you know what ride he has?
Yeah,
you remember?
He's got I believe he's got an X3.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe Mike can tell us what ride he has. But let's continue on with some of the thank yous. Thank you very much to the guys at EFX Tires for supporting the show, supporting all of the rigs that we've had. They actually just supported Max Eddy in his Polaris Razor RS1 that I got to drive last year at the UTV World Championship in the Sonora Rally. And, man, he did so well in that Sonora Rally. I'd like to give a shout-out to Max, actually, because he just got a Polaris contract this week.
That's amazing.
Man. So cool.
Good for him. That's a lot of work goes into that.
Yeah, and, well, he grew up riding, racing. I mean, he's best buds with Ricky Barebeck, so
cool.
you
Good
know
for
he
him,
can
man.
haul the mail in the desert, right? Thank you guys, thank you to all the guys at Zollinger Racing Products. You can always go to ZollingerRacingProducts.com, use the code DIRTLIFE, save a whole bunch of money on their amazing products. I know they have a bunch of new products coming out, so stay tuned to their social media at Zollinger Racing Products and check out some of the new stuff that they have. And like I said, use the code DIRTLIFE. You can even call them and say that Dirt Life sent you. Thank you to the guys over at Cryo Heat. Have you ever dealt with any of those metal hardening companies like Cryo Heat?
I haven't. I've heard tons of good things about them. As far as especially in the racing platforms, and big motor builds and things like that, you definitely hear about what they're doing. So, we haven't personally worked with them, but I do have a lot of friends that have gone through them, and they're over the top about them.
Yeah, exactly. Cryo Heat does a fantastic job. One of the things that I think is most interesting about it, though, is that Josh, the owner of Cryo Heat, he's an engineer, but he's an outside-of-the-box thinker, much like you guys are.
Yeah.
He can think ahead or see ahead of the game, right? And nobody's ever thought about building what he has now as a Pro Mod UTV transmission for Polaris Razors, which is all heat treated metals. They're all micro polished, and they're all I don't know what they call it, but they honeycomb the gears and things like that so that it's super lightweight. I think it's like 20-30% lighter than the stock
I
transmission.
think they just did Ruslan's RS1.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So they're in Oceanside, California. So if you guys want, use the Dirt Life and call Cryo Heat, gets your stuff done over there too. They do CV joints, everything. And thank you very much to the guys over at Solderweld. They've been a supporter of the show since day one. You can use the code DIRTLIFE over at solderweld.com and get yourself an off-road repair kit. You can get welding blankets, all that good stuff. They can repair your race or repair your ride. So thank you to all of our sponsors. And most of all, as I say every show, thank you very much to everybody in the audience. You guys are our lifeblood. You guys are the ones that support us, and we really appreciate it. You guys have been sliding into our DMs like mad. We talked about social media before the show, sliding into people's DMs, but you guys have been doing an awesome job supporting the show. We're getting so much love on social media. We really, really appreciate it. So, all right, so before Todd calls in, we only got 5 minutes. I want to talk about, let's see here. Let's just talk about family first, because I think that's a topic that Lindsey's very familiar with, and you are as well, RJ. But, man, growing up in the off-road world, I grew up dirt bike racing and bicycle racing and stuff like that, but you really had your hands in the mix when you were growing up.
Yeah, I have a picture of me when I was like 4 weeks old in Mexico at a race with my dad. Like, I've been at it since I was tiny and in the shop with my dad, and it's really cool because I talked about it on shows with you before, but like even our family vacations and everything, we just go to the races, and that's like our time to spend with our family, and we enjoy that honestly more than going out and doing anything else. So
let me ask you one question about your family then. Are you the one that likes tacos the most out of everybody?
Definitely, yes.
Like way ahead of everybody else?
Yeah, there's actually a story that my family gets mad at me. I think we were at the 1,000 one year, and we were getting ready to go across the border to go home. Some of us, it was right for the Fink race in Australia is always right after, I think it's right after the 500. So some of our guys had to get back to Phoenix to go to the airport to fly to Australia. And so we had just finished the race, and we were headed to the border. And I was like, please, like, we have to stop and get tacos one more time before we leave. Like, these are the best tacos.
this is like I got to shoot up one more time. Like, I got to get the fix.
Yeah.
But it was me and my dad and my brother, and then the guy who had to get to the airport. And I was like, please, like, I'll just run in, get my tacos, whatever. So I got my tacos. And we sat in the border line for probably 3 hours, and they closed the car right in front of us.
Oh!
And we had to get home, so we drove to a different border and waited another 2-3 hours.
I don't think I ever heard this story.
And it was all we would have made it if we didn't stop and get tacos. So they still get mad at me for that.
That's pretty hardcore addiction right
I
there.
know that was when I realized I had a problem.
It's so funny.
That is
so you.
We actually, RJ says that, and we actually got a comment through YouTube that came in and said RJ likes tacos too.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe not quite like that.
no, I definitely think Lindsey takes the cake as a taco connoisseur to the point where like it's not.
Oh, we're talking like connoisseur, not just addict.
No, she's a professional. Like we could say we're going to a taco place, and it's not the hey, we're going to get tacos. She'll eat tacos anywhere. No. Like she'll be like, no, I don't like those tacos. Or like, if you're going here, like I'm in. Like it's probably one of the few things that I know. Like Lindsey actually eats pretty good. Like she's pretty clean like through the week. But if we're like, hey, we're gonna go get tacos, and she'll be like, which ones? And if you're like
real big,
yeah, if it's legit. It's done. It's over. It's her weekend. It's like pizza for me.
Hey, let's go to the other side of the spectrum, though. What about Jack in the Box tacos? Because everybody has to eat those sometimes.
Honestly, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I like them.
I'll be 100% honest. Like, there's been so many like 2:00 in the mornings when you like leave. When I was younger, like, and we'd go through, and it'd be like $10 for 20 tacos.
Yeah, they're so
you
cheap.
just get to the bar and you're like, I'll take 40.
Yeah, exactly. And then the only problem is that like you get that one bite where all that lettuce and stuff comes out in the bottom. Like you're not getting out of anything.
Or if the dude that made it like put all the hot sauce right at the end and it drips out on you.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm a fan. I don't think there's a lot of food that I wouldn't eat. I'm just I guess I'm a food connoisseur in general.
I don't know what this comment actually means, but YZF 450 tap. Who tags you guys the most on Facebook? Is that like me and him? He wants credit for it or what?
Who tags us the most on Facebook? Brandon Ristow. Ristow would be one.
Maybe he's maybe he's homie, or maybe that's him.
Maybe. There's a lot. I'm very fortunate to say that we get tagged a lot on Facebook.
Here, dude, we're already getting a comment from Jacob. Jacob Zuccone. Yo, RJ, why aren't you rocking the Jacob special like Lindsey?
I got it on.
Because Lindsey's wearing it.
He didn't want to be mad.
Oh, dude, if you guys were twinning, that would be no-go, dude.
Yeah, no, like, Jacob, like, really, dude? Like, come on, bro. Go back to TikTok.
Uh-oh.
If you're watching and you TikTok, go ahead and subscribe to Jacob so he can get more followers.
He needs to up his game?
Yeah, well, he's got a Raptor, and he posts about his Raptor a lot, I think. And I think that's his TikTok game right there. So if you're following Jacob or you're not following Jacob, make sure you go and check him out.
So speaking of TikTok, is that actually like a thing for the off-road industry now?
Here's the deal. A funny story about that, okay? I told Lindsey, it had to be like a year ago.
When it
first came out, I was like,
big.
And like, she literally looked at me like I had like an abscess growing on my forehead when I was like, should we do TikTok?
Really?
And she's like,
No,
we're not doing TikTok.
I know. I kind of feel like that too.
And I thought it was a good idea. I think that
I think it is. It's a cool platform, and it is getting really big. I just don't know that it's our demographic.
I think that it's for the younger demographic.
Which eventually they'll want to get a UTV. That demographic will grow.
Yeah, in like 17 years, when they all grow up, they'll be getting UTVs, and TikTok will be a great platform to. So if you get ahead of it and build a following, I think it's great.
Yeah, I just don't know, because like to me, when I see it, like if coming from an analytical point of view, I always think that TikTok is like faking the numbers, because how the hell does it get?
It is insane.
Yeah, like you post one thing.
You can get one thing on Instagram, and then TikTok will get 50,000 more.
Yeah.
I think somebody's over there like, give this guy 1.5 million and really jazz his day up.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy,
Make
but
me feel like somebody.
Who knows? But I still think it's pretty cool. That I don't know that I want to do that though.
I'm definitely not doing TikTok dances. That's for sure. Like,
I hope Todd and Jacob are here, because we're gonna have to give Jacob a call and see if Todd will use his phone to do the FaceTime. So Jacob, if you're there and you're by your father, please give him the phone so that he can do FaceTime with us, because it looks like the The iPad wasn't working with FaceTime. There we go. Look
What's
at
up, Chicago?
what's up, dude. How are you doing, Jacob?
All right.
So is your dad around by chance, or no? Is he still at the shop?
Yeah, let me go grab him real quick.
We could. He looks like he's trying to call me on FaceTime, but for whatever reason it didn't go through. So maybe just see if he can jump on with us. So for anybody that doesn't know, I think everybody's heard of the name or the brick company Evo Powersports. What is Evo Performance?
Evolution Powersports.
Yeah. So what's up, Todd?
What's up? I tried to FaceTime you.
Yeah, we had a couple technical difficulties today. I tested everything, but, it's just like a race. When you go to the starting line, then all of a sudden a part breaks, but you've been prepared the whole week before. It's the same shit that happens with technology.
Oh,
God.
Todd knows all too well about being overly prepared and it just not happening.
It's crazy, right?
That's our boy. Hey, everybody who knows Todd's Instagram, go just hit him with a heart. Or like
give him some
praying
love.
hands. Todd's been having a rough month. The guy plugs. He's one of the hardest working guys I know, and it's been down to the wire for a week for a project he's working on. But he's we appreciate you being here,
Dude, 100%.
I needed a change of pace here.
So how's things going up there in Colorado, bud?
Going good. I'm still in a hoodie. It's still cold up here.
Yeah.
What's the weather? What's the weather like up there? Is it too cold to ride, or can you guys still get out in the side by sides?
Well, so riding. So Jacob and I this past weekend decided we got some Sea-Doos. We decided to take them out on the lake. The weather was 42 degrees.
Oh my gosh.
42 degrees, really?
Yes.
Holy smokes, man! That sounds pretty gnarly, dude.
Well, That's how bad we're jonesing for summer at this point.
When's it going to be summer, man? I feel like Arizona started like a year,
Yeah,
a week
we were
ago.
at the lake last weekend and we were sweating. You got to bring those
no.
Sea-Doos down here, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, so do you guys, either of you, I want to give Todd the opportunity to go last on this one. I want to see if Todd has a funny story about you guys, but do you guys have any funny stories about Todd?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. One just popped into RJ's head right now.
I got a lot of funny stories with Todd. We spend a lot of time together, but
Hey, Lindsey, will you turn that camera a little bit? So
This way?
Yeah, just
I guess
just a
most
little.
recently is we went up to
There you
his
go.
place
Good.
and we were snowmobiling, and Todd,
Up in Colorado?
yeah, we were riding these sleds and I got a little overzealous. I was cutting through the trees and I was like, dude, I'm a badass. I'm like,
Well, you got all kinds of confidence
I
now?
got it, dude. I was like 5 minutes into it too, and I remember Todd was like, just keep it chill. Like these are rentals, right? I remember, and I see this tree, and I'm looking at the tree, and I can't stop looking at the tree. Well, one thing in like
a deer in
snowmobiles,
headlights?
apparently you can't look at what you want. You got to look where you want to go. I was so focused on this tree, so I smoked this tree, and the whole time, dude, I'm 34 years old, and the whole time I'm panicking because I'm like, dude, if Todd sees this, he's gonna be fucking pissed.
Todd's gonna be
Was
He's gonna be
the
pissed.
was the snowmobile
Dude, I wrecked
blown
the
out?
side of it and like that, and I just remember Todd rolling up on the hill and looking at me. I had, like, through his helmet, goggles, and everything, I could just feel the disappointment. But in his head, he's literally saying like, "This idiot." So that's my most recent story of like Todd and I. But we have a lot. Not a lot that I can say on camera.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Todd?
I said I didn't care. It wasn't my sled.
It was just
a
a rental.
rental.
So it was fine. Were those some gnarly trails, or RJ was just being an amateur?
It was
No,
wide open field, I think.
The whole Arizona crew did amazing. For basically just throwing them to the wolves and taking them back country. They did great.
Look at him being all politically correct when you smoked a rental.
Yeah.
That was
No,
a
we had
lot
a
of
lot.
fun.
That was so much fun. If you
Did
ever,
you get to ride one too?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, we all went up for our. Well, actually, it was just like a random trip that we all took. So all of us from Jeffries went up there, and we went snowboarding the first day, and then snowmobiling the next day. And I had never done either, so I was dead tired by the last day. But it was a lot of fun.
How many days did you guys spend up there?
we were there for 5 days.
5 days,
Todd?
I think.
And so how many skis or how many sleds got wrecked?
Every,
Just you?
It's just me.
I think RJ was the only one.
Which I'm thankful for, because if I would have put a bet with our crew, the 2 wrecking balls would have had. If Colin and Parker would have been my first bet that they would have.
Oh, if you had money on it?
Oh man, because they're wild.
Yeah.
They're wild.
Hey, Todd, so who was the best rider on a snowmobile?
Of the Arizona crew, it would have been Reese.
Oh, yeah.
Why was he just off the chain?
Our video guy. Yeah,
He was good?
Dude, he's just natural ability. On anything with a motor and a throttle.
He's he brings his dirt bike to Glamis with us, and it's insane to watch him ride. We're just cruising in our 4 wheels and cage, and he's flying over the top of us.
He's the type of guy who doesn't even air down.
Really?
Runs a knobby, and then we're sitting. Where'd we go? We were sitting at the swing set. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I think I'm gonna hit it. I was like, all right, yeah, right. All of a sudden, he just sails it over us. But,
really?
yeah. And Todd's a lot like that too. If you get Todd in a car, he'll send it. Actually, that's a good story. Todd, do you remember the first time you test drove a car for us in Glamis?
What car was it?
Yeah, I do remember that story.
So here's the deal, right? Todd doesn't test drive cars.
I want to hear his version.
I think you don't test drive cars. It was either that moment or prior to that. But I was like, hey, dude, this car, can you just go test it and make sure it's, it's good? It was one.
Let's hear his version of it. Should we let him tell it, or you want to tell it?
I mean,
I've test driven some vehicles before, and, and it's not fun when the wheels come off of a customer's vehicle.
And it was right outside of camp too, wasn't it?
Dude, and I don't know what a soldier.
But so the point, the thing is that I've had this happen before, and so I just make it it's my personal thing. I don't test drive other customers' cars because I've been in them when wheels fall off. Well, when RJ asked me to test drive this car, I'm like, yeah, it's RJ. I'm like, I can't be for everybody. There's got to be an exception to the rule.
Nope.
Well, nope. I just happened, the wheel just happened to fall off.
Who's the dude that tightened them?
What?
Who's the dude that tightened the lugs?
It wasn't that. It was a manufacturer defect. So it was. Let's just say
Put the mic a little closer.
Yeah, let's just say a previous company we were having some difficulties, and Todd went out, and one of the pins on the A-arm came out, and Todd, he did it. He lost a wheel.
Did you just lose a wheel and just set it on the ground, or did he just wad it up?
From what I understand, right, you were going through the whoops. He was on sand highway wide open.
Yeah.
And then this is how cool Todd is, though, right? He calls me, right? And he's cool as a cucumber. He goes, hey, RJ. I go, yeah. He goes, the wheel came off. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, can you come get me? So I'm panicked now. I'm like, dude, the car is cartwheeled, everything. Dude, I almost killed Todd. I go back. This is how dope he is. He sets the wheel up and mimics it being on the car, and he's just sitting there all Rico Suave, like he was chilling, having a drink, so that everybody who drove by didn't see that there was a failure like that. He totally held it down for us instead of just rolling the wheel out and being like, "Fuck this car."
Dude, we had to do that so many times when we would break on the racetrack with the Yamaha program. We would just get all the shit off it so nobody could see it, and that was it.
Yeah. So Todd's a ride or die, man. He's. I think from that point on, I was like, dude, anything this guy needs, I'm in.
Hey, so I think you should change your slogan on Instagram to Todd Zuccone, cool as a cucumber.
It's fitting.
It is. He's cool under pressure.
Is Jacob cool under pressure as well?
No. We got to get Jacob cool under pressure.
Look at the man, the myth right there.
I got to give it to Jacob, though. He had another test session. We went out night testing, getting all the Baja design stuff, all dialed in. And he had a great test. For not having logged a lot of miles in that car, he really looked really comfortable. So I'm excited to see him in his next race, and he's grown a lot. So, I probably take that back. He was a little bit in the beginning of building this race car and all that. He was a little bit kind of eager, I guess would be the word. Anxious and nervous and this and that. Now he's got it dialed in. He's grown a lot in the last year. So, he's definitely not his dad though.
He's definitely not cool as a cucumber.
No.
He's more like spicy, like
you
a
want to know
chili.
cool a cucumber? This guy, if you go on YouTube and type in Todd Zuccone or Evo MS or Evo Motorsports, he does 200 plus in Porsches.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
I got to see this.
Dude, it takes a lot to rattle him.
Hey, so what's the next race that you guys have, Todd, with the family?
Next race is going to be Vegas to Reno.
That's
Big
gonna
one.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. So you guys excited?
Yeah, I think Jacob and I and we're going to split the driving duties. So we're going to most likely I'm going to start, and I don't know, maybe RJ's going to ride with me. Who knows, right?
Dude, I'll jump in. I'm in.
We'll show them what the older men can do.
Yeah, dude. We're going to take that. Can you run like an AARP number behind us or something? Dude, if we should put a bet, if we get a better lap time than them, or we take it home, like they got to do all the prep or something next.
Yeah, have a competition internally.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Hey, so Todd, we had a comment come in that said Todd the GOAT. So that's a pretty cool comment for you, bud.
He is.
So it's pretty neat that you guys are going racing as a family. We started talking about the family vibe, and Lindsey kind of started getting into it a little bit with her family and how they like tacos and stuff like that. But since you guys live in Colorado, is it a little different for you guys? Are you guys more sandwich oriented up there?
Todd's Pizza. I'm going to plug.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to plug right now.
Yeah.
Makes the best pizza.
Todd does himself.
Todd
Like
makes
custom
the
pizza?
best pizza. That's why we went. Like everybody
This
thinks
is
like
the
I
fun
wanted to go
fact of
see.
the night.
Everybody thinks I wanted to go
really
see
good.
Snow. I went for Todd's Pizza, and he can attest to that. I've been talking about it for like a year since the last time I went in. But Zuck's Pizza, follow him on Instagram. It's gonna be his new thing.
Dude, cool as a cucumber, warm as a pizza.
Whoa, there we go.
Dude, we got to get that going. Hey, so what do you do when you cook pizza? I'm like seriously interested in this.
Well, I just cook pizza.
Are you using like one of those stone ovens or whatever they're called?
I do. Yep.
Yeah, he's got a pizza stone. Like when I tell you, he does the thing.
What, like flips it up in the air?
Makes it, makes the
Dude,
dough,
yeah, he's
flings
got pizza dough.
Does he have like a
dust-
New York Italian accent when he's doing it too? Like it's
Dude, his last name's Zuccone. Like he just goes for it.
I'm just saying, like, does everything come out like when he's doing it? Like he gets full back to like his grassroots?
You know, because Jen was with us, and he's pretty well behaved with his wife around. Yeah, she keeps him lined up. But that's yeah. If you want a fun fact, Todd makes the best pizza. I would probably say that is my favorite. My favorite food right now would be, if I could have anything, it would be overblow tacos, everything. It would be Todd's Pizza.
What does a professional taco connoisseur think about Todd's pizzas?
I thought it was great. I love pizza too. It was really good.
What kind of toppings are we talking about on the standard Zuccone pizza?
Sausage.
It's
Dang.
Todd's favorite.
Dude, it sounds pretty good. Is it like a...
As soon as it came out of my mouth.
do you want me to make that the audio clip so you can? Well, I'll cut it out of the audio and just send it to you. I'll text it to you. So whenever he calls you, it just says sausage.
I feel
sausage.
bad. Everybody tuned in to talk about like motorsports and UTVs. We're over here talking about Todd's sausage pizza.
Dude, we like to get.
Sorry for everybody out
We
there.
like to
that
get behind
thought
the
this was going to be a
scenes.
really interesting one.
Hey, so
Industry.
all right. Well, let's get back on track then. But fun fact, thank you very much for sharing that with us, dude. You guys helped with at least a project that was close to my heart with an RS1 that we built for the UTV World Championship in, what was it, late last year? So that was how I kind of got introduced to you guys from Justin over at Shock Therapy. So I wanted to thank you both for that. But I wanted to go above and beyond that and see if Todd can answer first, and then maybe you and Lindsey can answer. Do you have a project that has always been real special to you, Todd? Maybe a customer's project, maybe it was a family project that you worked on, but something that was real special that was different than a normal project that you usually work on?
I mean, I have a lot of pet projects that I take on that are kind of all special, but I mean, I definitely have to say, you know, with the car that, you know, Dave and I and Jeffries crew put together for Best in the Desert. I mean, yeah, the car that we built for the Gold Rush show.
That was a really cool car. Well, it's still really a cool car. How many miles are on that car now? Because it's still pretty fresh, right?
Like 100.
Well, so that's the part of that car. The funny part of that car is that car has been, it's been cartwheeled and rolled. And everybody but me.
You want to know a fun fact about Todd? Every car that he's owned has never been wrecked by we build him a fresh car, and then he's that guy. He's like, take the car, and then the next phone call he gets is like, yeah, it's on its lid.
From somebody else?
From somebody else.
So Todd's like not the one wrecking. He's the one that.
But his car always gets wrecked.
Always gets wrecked. Like the poor guy. Like, and dude, that was gorgeous. Like Hyper was a gorgeous car. Horrible name, but a gorgeous car. And what was it, Todd? It was like 10 minutes into the noon ride, and Rick cartwheeled the car like when it was fresh and ready to go. Came in, and that's when I think that Todd was like, I think this is just going to be a race car.
Dang, dude, that's great. Is it because people can't handle all this horsepower you're pumping out?
No, I mean that was just inexperience in the dunes and just getting jealous and
And a lot of it is like you don't. For us leading or anything like that, like we ride at a different pace than a lot of people that have never been there. I mean, everybody
you can't
knows,
take a beginner out on those rides.
and you forget when you have 20 cars deep and you're real itchy and you just start hauling the mail. And Lindsey's normally always behind me. And the last thing, like if Lindsey's close to me, I already know she's like ready to nerf me, and I don't want anything on my car.
So you just dip out.
Lindsey's deep. She gets first place and second place race every time.
Nice.
Like you don't want to get in between her and first place because she'll.
What do you guys do? Do camp races to the hill or something?
I think it just starts with like we'll be cruising, everything will be good, and then somebody will
Someone just
overtake
gets a little
somebody,
hair.
and then it starts with a wheel, and then all of a sudden, that was one of our first rides. So we were really adrenaline was up. We had a bunch of great people with us, and Rick. By no means is Rick a bad driver, but like the first drop, and if you don't know how to read terrain,
Yeah. Well, the dunes are always hard anyways.
it's so bad. And I think it was so quick.
Hey, so we that is a pretty funny story though. Do you have any funny stories about RJ, Todd?
Funny stories about RJ.
While you're thinking about that, I did want to say that it really is cool, like on the family vibe, that you guys are actually going out there and giving your son some resources to be able to go racing. I know he's just kind of starting out getting in his, I don't know what you want to call it, racing career, if that's what he wants to pursue. But it's pretty rad to see, RJ just kind of, I don't want to say made fun of Jacob, but he just kind of was poking fun at Jacob that he's new at this and he was anxious and nervous. But to me, that's a really endearing thing because I remember when I first started, and you first started when you were like riding dirt bikes and stuff, like how nervous and excited you were. That's so cool. Like having that, if I could have that right now, I would totally love that.
Yeah, and you know what the cool thing about Jacob is? I think it's not misplaced nerves from being
It's excitement,
not
right?
confident. He holds himself. If you look at Todd, like Todd has this level of expectation for everything he does. Does it A+, and Todd's got a phrase he loves saying, and he likes to shit tight. Okay, he really does take everything, and Jacob sees that, and I think that one of the things I've observed is that Jacob really tries to meet that demand, and and it's not his fault. It just comes with years and years and years of preparation. But the coolest thing was watching those two as a father and son team. When I tell you, like from start to finish, they've really built a race car in record amount of days that was rally ready, and they did it themselves, and Jacob had a huge part in it, and it was really a lot of direction from Todd and Jacob kind of executing and us helping out whenever we could. But you see a lot of growth in that. But one of the coolest father-son projects I think I've ever been able to witness, and you look at it, I'm like, that means more than anything, is watching Todd teach Jacob what he knows, and then Jacob kind of push the boundaries, push the limits, test the waters, and start to learn about what he can and cannot do. And I think that's, in a year, he's grown so much into a very responsible young man that makes great decisions.
Dude, that was really nice. I feel like that was a postcard. But yeah, like that's exactly the family vibe that I'm talking about, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And like Lindsey probably felt that way when she was young. You probably did as well. And Todd, I'm sure that you're passing that on down the generations.
Yeah, I hope so. And yeah, it's a great experience. I mean, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's amazing.
So is Jacob pretty pumped? Like, you guys have a lot more prep before Vegas to Reno, or what's on the schedule?
Well, the car was prepped. The car's ready to go, but we didn't. Yeah, there's just a few things, but yeah, we're pretty much ready.
Sweet, man. Well, it'll be neat to see you guys get out there and attack the course. I really appreciate you giving us a buzz, Todd. It was awesome to be able to talk with you. I know you had a long week last week, and then Monday is never an easy day to get on the schedule, so I really appreciate it, man. It was unless you have a funny story about RJ.
The funny stories I don't think are appropriate.
Are we keeping it PG-13 today,
Trust
or
me,
what?
man. Anything that makes him or I laugh, we can't talk about. Oh man, unless we want to talk about Jacob's scooter ride. So that's it.
No, I don't think we should talk about that.
No, we're good. All right, Todd.
All right.
We love you, dude.
Yeah, we really do. Thank you very much for giving us a buzz, Todd. We'll speak to you soon, and if we don't, good luck at Vegas to Reno to you and Jacob.
Thank you.
See you guys.
See ya.
It's pretty cool that they have such a good family vibe going too, man. It's just awesome to see. Like, there's hardly any other sports. I mean, like, you see basketball, baseball, skateboarding and stuff, but they're not as connected as the off-road stuff. It's always seems like it's more connected.
Yeah. The Zuccone's in a hole. If you meet his wife, you meet any of the family, like they're amazing. And same with Jim. You know, obviously his brother Jim and his wife Amy and everybody there. But when you talk about a tight knit family, that's a lot of why we all work together, and what made our relationship what it was is that we were all really, really pushing each other's companies as if we were owner, because we truly believe in both products and both companies, and more than anything, the success of each other, because we felt like family, and we've always felt like family, treated us like family, and looked out for us. You know, Todd's been there on more than one occasion, steering me in the right direction when I'm flat out. Like, I mean, there's been probably half a handful of times that I've been in shotgun, ready to rock, and really, really on a trajectory that I wasn't going to steer away from, and Todd's been able to coach me through some things, and things that I
direct you in the right direction.
Yeah, and things that I can look back on, because you know he really does. He looks out for me like a family member. And he's like, hey, like, listen, I promise you, I'm not telling you this for any other reason than just it's for your own good, and it's always turned out great. And Jimmy's been there for us as well, and really helped us grow as a company, believed in us from the get-go. So. You know, it's a great family, and that's a lot of the reason that we pair with the companies we do. It's not so much about the products. There's a criteria that we have to have. It has to be a top-notch product. Like, your first and foremost is it has to be a well-made or a company that has values. But more than anything, it has to have people and substance. Yep. And that's what I feel like our biggest success has been really teaming up with people that have like-minded but look out for you and have a family atmosphere at the end of the day. Guys that you enjoy going to dinner with or hanging out with, not that you want to get them out the front door because you don't want to answer any more questions.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of like, you kind of got ahead of me a little bit, but that's where I was going to lead the whole family thing is that when you talk about how you grow up in off-road, whether it's motorcycles, bicycles, off-road trucks, side-by-sides, it's so many times it ends up leading to like a business endeavor, and now you have a business family and an extended family, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing, and you really see all the love and passion.
Yeah. I think Lindsey can probably attest to that more.
Yeah, that's where I was going to circle back around is.
Yeah, Lindsey's family, her father, Jeff, he's a man of few words, very few words. And when he does have words, they're normally.
You want to listen?
Yeah. No.
They're usually not nice words.
They're not nice words. Jeff will never, he's very
few
honest. And direct, won't make you feel great, but he's got one of the biggest hearts.
Yeah.
Corey, her little brother, Race, and obviously Rick, and those guys over there, they've run a top-notch operation. Obviously, they're the stronghold in trophy truck racing. And Lindsey's work ethic, you can see, is a direct derivative of that. Like Lindsey doesn't leave at 5 o'clock. A lot of us, we taper off.
4:59.
We fizzle out because we have, like you said, like I want to get home and see Jesse or this and that. Like Lindsey is 100% committed to not just her clientele. Like her clientele gets the best of her, but she's committed to success, and her work ethic is unmatched. And that is and correct me if I'm wrong, that is Jeff. Jeff,
yep.
You hear about Jeff and Corey and Rick and those guys, they work day in, day out, 24 hours straight. I
a lot of those traits are built from racing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, they'll leave a race and get back at 3 o'clock in the morning, be back in the shop at 6. Like they're one of the hardest working families I've ever been able to witness, and thankfully say that they're friends and family now. But Lindsey portrays every bit of that, and I truly feel that she's, for her family when that happens or not like that, they're gonna have a really good person to look up to, just like how I feel. You look up to your father.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, man. I really like that family vibe, and we always talk about it on the Dirt Life show, is because the reason that we started this show was simply because of that. Like, I grew up, there wasn't pavement.
Yeah.
It was just dirt. And then so, like, when you have that growing up and you just live that life and you're so surrounded by family all the time, just like Lindsey said, when she goes on vacation, it's going on vacation to a race and eating tacos or whatever it is. Like, that's a family thing, right? Like, and you actually, as much as it might sound like you're going out just to have a good time or to race and stuff, you learn a shitload too.
Yeah.
Like, you really get taught a lot about life during those times. So
I remember even in school, like some of my friends, like I was gone all the time. I was we were in Mexico or Vegas or wherever, but I was gone almost every other weekend. And some of my friends had never even left, the small area that we grew up in. And like the life experience that I got before I even graduated high school, just from like going out and going to the races and, meeting sponsors, and like you just learn so much outside of your normal growing up life that I feel like it prepared me a lot more for now too.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. And that's, like I said, that's the reason that we started the show. And a lot of our audience members are the same. They don't clock out at 4:59 or 5 o'clock. They work until the job is done. You know what I mean? And I think that's the same thing that makes you guys excel at your success rate in business, which we'll talk about a little bit more maybe after the commercial break, is you guys don't give up. You guys make sure the projects are done. You make sure they're detailed. You make sure they're done properly, and do everything that matters to the client. You know what I mean? Or even if it's a personal project. Yeah. So it makes a huge difference. And I think a lot of it stems from the family atmosphere that you grow up in, and the dedication to being able to, whether it's finish a race or make it home or whatever it is. When we always talk about, Lindsey probably did this more than any of us sitting here. You get done with a race and you have that debrief on the way home. I mean, it's 8 hours usually in a trip, right? That's the average. Like, you could talk for 8 hours about how you're going to get better.
Yeah.
It's I could only imagine the stuff that happened in the truck rides home with her family.
It's like he said, though, too. My dad doesn't say much, but when he does, like, it hits you. And he definitely, like, he's very talented at what he does, and he knows a lot, and so I always listen. But, I definitely
look at her being all humble. She's talented, too. We know this, man.
No, Lindsey's top notch. And you know what? Like you said, I couldn't imagine if Jeff, because when he does get hot, like
it's like a fire.
Yeah. I almost like that version better, because like it's actually really funny to me. But amazing dude, and you guys, Lindsey, there was actually one point.
Is Jeff or RJ gonna get a call from Jeff tomorrow?
No. He'll wait till the next time he comes in and then just
rip you a new one.
On him,
Oh, dude.
Hey, so Steve-O from over at Shock Therapy said RJ and the entire team at Jeffries are top notch. Also Todd and the guys at Evo. Yeah, so everybody has a real tight relationship with Shock Therapy, the guys at Evo. A lot of the really, really good tuning stuff, man. When I saw you guys, the accuracy and the tuning and the different things you did, the RS1, I was like, Jesus Christ, man, this was so easy. Like, it made my life so easy that you guys were so on point with the stuff that you did.
That's all thanks to Todd. Todd's the one who creates those files, and a big part of our business is executing those products. And the reason that they incorporate into our business so well, why we do it, is because of it's all based off of safe, reliable, and the ease of doing it, right? So, I feel like there's two different ends of the spectrum. You can strap a car to a dyno and fine tune it and things like that. And
this dyno right here behind us, you mean?
Yeah. But there's also, what what I think that they've proved is validity behind making sure that you can have a plug and play system and a drop in file that not only gives you a good amount of horsepower, but it's safe and you can confidently put it in clients' cars. Cause that's us, we make sure that every single car leaves here 100%. Well, a big part of that is we don't create the files. We don't do the tuning. We don't like that. We rely on Todd and Evo. I've never had an instance where I've second guessed loading a file into a car that this isn't going to be.
Business partnerships are always difficult because you got to put all your trust in that other person.
100%. And that's why we trust the Evolution Powersports products, is that we know the type of R&D that goes into it. You're not talking about these guys go out to the desert for an hour and they're like, oh yeah, that looks good, this and that. It takes months. And a lot of people get upset with them because they're like, when is it coming out? As soon as the car is coming out, when is it coming out? When is it coming out? Even if they come out with, case in point, the 21, there was only a certain amount of cars that they were able to do. They were still, half the people were upset. But they, as far as Jim and Todd, will not release something unless they're 110% sure that it's been tested in high elevation, low elevation, hot, cold, everywhere. Because somebody who buys a car in Arizona might decide to go to Colorado and ride at 10,000.
Even if you're in the valley, like in Phoenix or something, and you go up to the cinders, it's a little bit different, right?
You're going up to I think it was 8,000 feet up there, or you decide to go to Mexico. These guys have to make sure that those tunes are completely valid, and that's why I feel like their business has been extremely successful in that retrospect, and it's made us just as successful.
Dude,
being able to push those.
Having good partners always helps. Hey, so we had a comment come in. We might talk about it a little bit more. We're going to go to commercial break in a second, so maybe you can give me your Cliff's Notes answer. And it's from HXN T3R. Says, what's coming in the future for Jeffries Performance? Custom fabrication, race team, branching out into different vehicles.
Yeah,
I mean that's a really broad question. So
it's probably something we can do on the way back. That's probably a long-winded answer. There's a lot of stuff coming up. We overachieved. I wouldn't say overachieved. We met and exceeded our expectations for 20 and 21.
Yeah. So the past couple of years have been pretty successful in the business environment.
We're very fortunate to say, and that's all a direct relation to the clients that we have, the trust that they put in us, and we're blessed to say we're at that point. But we have, we've kind of realized that we can set our bar a little bit higher for us, and there's a lot of things that we have, kind of irons in the fire that I'm excited for.
Dude, that must feel gratifying to both of you guys.
Yeah, we sat down. We had our 1 year of Jeffries Performance in August of last year, and we looked back and we were like, how was this only like our first year of business? Like, it was insane.
That's so cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah, we were really blessed, especially from the start of Jeffries Performance and the beginning months, and even a couple weeks prior to that, there was a lot of time. And when I say Lindsey's been there for me and with us, and Jeffries Performance would not be what it is without Lindsey Geiser. Like Lindsey, LG Creative.
LG Creative Co.
LG Creative Co. I'm gonna plug this right here. If you are a racer, you are a business. If you're anybody that's looking for social media marketing, your web presence, graphic design, T-shirts, anything like that. If it involves your business growing, I can tell you this: make one phone call to LG Creative Co. She's expensive.
I'm a little behind.
She's
right
expensive.
Now.
She probably isn't taking on much. So get on a waiting list. But I can attest that Jeffries Performance, what we look like, how we look like, what we produce, everything from start to finish.
Hey, don't go too far into that. I want to talk about branding.
Okay.
So, all right. Hey, we're going to commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Justin, the founder of Shock Therapy. Shock Therapy has been around for 5 years, but we have personally been tuning suspension on off-road cars and race vehicles for over 25 years. We tune between 10 and 15 cars per day, every single day of the week. Our concentration is tuning shock systems and supplying components that improve the ride quality of your car in many ways. Not only do we work on the average UTV, but we also tune suspension for race teams and professional drivers. We currently tune for over 87 race teams in Best in Desert and Score. Our clients and race teams rely on our suspension components to allow them to win races and keep them safe. Suspension is a moving target, and we are always trying to hit that target with every customer that we work with. Each customer's needs can be different, and we tune our kits accordingly. Our research and development never stops. We improve our components every single day. As the industry evolves and improves, so do our parts and kits. As of right now, we have over 100 products for UTVs. So when you bring your car to us, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have the most experience, the highest quality products, and the fact that your car is being tuned specifically to you.
Zollinger Racing builds the best aftermarket products available. Products for your UTV or snowmobile, including billet radius rods, billet tie rods, billet steering knuckles, billet steering racks, alternator kits, and much more. All manufactured in the United States in-house at their headquarters in Nibley, Utah. Travis Zollinger and his team test in some of the most brutal conditions, racing in places like the Best in the Desert Mint 400, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, UTV World Championships, and many more. Visit ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE to get 10% off your next purchase, and join us on social media at Zollinger Racing Products to see our products in action. Zollinger Racing, the best products, period. Finally, we got Lance from Solderweld in the studio. Thanks for coming down, bud. Hey, why don't we just record a commercial now?
Yeah, why not? So good to be here, man. It's been a lot. I'm trying to get down here forever, and I wanted to talk about the off-road kit.
Dude, I love those things. I got it in my pack.
Yeah, we're running hundreds of vehicles now running them, whether it's a UTV or some guy's got it in a backpack on his motocross. He's got everything he needs to make a fix right there on the fly, out on the trail, or in the desert, whatever it is.
Well, since I've already used one, I kind of know what to use it for, but explain what it does.
All right, so let's pull one out real quick. You've got your aluminum rods. Remember, they're rods, right? So, light torch, small torch, you can throw it in there or throw it on the rig with your flux. It decontaminates and cleans like let's say a radiator. You get a random rock chip runs through as you're racing. You get a rock chip in a radiator. You got to fix it right there, or you're out of the race.
You can patch it up.
You can patch it up. It's all good to go.
Yep, just like welding.
Yeah. Also, as well with that, you've got a brake line fix. So with your flux, you can fix a brake line, stainless steel. And then your hot block, heat absorption putty. So it keeps you from getting burned, number one, as well as keeps the heat from traveling. So it's really, really nice.
I've used this not even to fix anything. So that stuff works so good, man.
Listen, it's easy. It straps in nicely so that you have everything you need in one little place, and you don't have to carry a big bag in
It's like a first aid kit for your vehicle.
Yeah, chase trucks have it as well, so that if they need to make a fix on the fly, they can get it done and get it done quick and get you back in the race.
Dude, those things are so cool. All right, so it's at Solderweld on Instagram, Facebook, and solderweld.com.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Welcome back to episode 86 of the Dirt Life Show, live from the headquarters of Jeffries Performance in Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you both, RJ and Lindsey, for joining us today. We really appreciate you guys having us, man.
Happy to have you here, man.
Although I am bummed that Lindsey's sick, because I really did want to get tacos, man.
I know.
So, okay, so let's just dive into it, man. This beginning of the show has been pretty cool. It was nice to have Todd Zuccone on, but I would like to talk a little bit about both of you. But we're gonna do ladies first again.
Great.
Lindsey, maybe you can kind of tell us a little bit more about what people don't know about on social, or what they see on social media and what they don't know about you. So you grew up in an off-road community or an off-road family, but kind of maybe give us the Cliff Notes of where it ended up to you being where you're at now.
Yeah, so I grew up obviously with my dad's company and Rick's company, so we were all trophy truck stuff. And when we talk about
Which is Geiser Brothers?
Yes, yeah. So when we talk about a career change, it wasn't necessarily changing from something else to off-road. It was going from trophy trucks to golf carts.
Yeah. So like pivoting, I guess you could say.
And I had a hard time with that at first.
Oh, man. Lindsey's always looked down upon us. She goes from trophy truck to
Is it like comparing gorillas to monkeys, or like what is it? Like I don't know.
Sure. It's a whole different ball game, but I mean I love it now.
Well, the popularity of UTVs and the accessibility of UTVs is so amazing. Like no matter what you think, whether you think it's an overgrown golf cart or you think it's the best thing on the planet, they're cool no matter what.
Oh yeah, no, it's insane, and I've definitely grown to love them. It was just funny when I first started.
I think it's a little bit hard.
Did you get slack? Did people give you slack when you?
No, it was mostly just me.
Yeah, no, she set her own level.
It's her bar.
Correct me if I'm wrong though. Are you the only of the Geiser kids that's raced a trophy truck?
Yes, yeah. My brother raced with me, but I'm the only one who's driven one.
Yeah, so that's probably a little more of it. She when you race a trophy truck,
put the mic a little closer, Lindsey. So dude, that's actually a really good question. I think a lot of our audience would like to know. What's the main difference between driving a trophy truck and driving an X3 or a side-by-side?
It's crazy. And I give props to UTV racers because I raced a 6100 for 2 years, and I got beat up racing that. And we did the Mint 400, Vegas, Reno, Parker, so some pretty gnarly races. And I would split the races with Carrie Smiley, and by the end of my leg, I would be beat. And so to do that same race in a UTV, I have to give mad props to those drivers because it's
we've asked her plenty of times. I said I would 100% sponsor a race program and build a car if Lindsey would drive.
Really?
And she said no.
Fantastic driver. Hey, so I just want to throw a shout out there. A couple of people said that Facebook was bogging for them. If you do have trouble with Facebook, please just come over to YouTube and check it out. It looks like Facebook is working, but YouTube is a little bit more of a solid platform when it comes to live streaming. So if you guys didn't hear, Lindsey likes UTVs way better than trophy trucks.
Yeah, she's the princess of UTV now.
Well, maybe you can give us a little bit more of a detailed answer. I know I had a personal message come in that said, ask Lindsey how awesome it is to drive a trophy truck. But so maybe you can give us is it harder to stop? Is it faster, getting up to speed? What's the little tiny idiosyncrasies that are different?
The biggest thing that I noticed is obviously it's a much bigger vehicle, so you can take on things a little faster.
Pounding shit.
Yeah, yeah. So the whoop section, it's a completely different story. And
you feel like a turtle in a UTV?
You just have to adjust because if you come into stuff the same speed that you would in a trophy truck, you're gonna go end over end.
So maybe, just maybe, that's what Todd was thinking. He thought he was in a trophy truck when the wheels fell off. He drove it till the wheels came off.
Nope. I'm gonna take that one on my head on that one. Nope. Todd
did good.
Todd's an excellent driver. He's actually the only person I've driven with. That's why if he's gonna race the Mint, I'll definitely jump in with him for that. But, Lindsey, I guess I have a question about the difference between trophy trucks, and UTVs. What does it feel rolling a trophy truck versus rolling a UTV? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, you've done both.
I've done both.
Flipping over?
Not proud of it, but I have rolled everything that I have driven. So, from trophy carts to
Which
buggies
one's scarier?
Honestly, I was going a lot faster in a UTV when I flipped, and that one was scary. And I went over.
How many times did you roll?
I think it was 3 times.
Oh, I got 8.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got an 8 one. So.
Yeah, Lindsey got a great. Was it the 360 GoPro 360 in it? And you just see her, and she looks like she's in a washing machine.
Really?
That was bad.
Was your head all scrambled after that one, or no?
It wasn't. I was pretty good. It was all built out, so it was fine.
RJ's over here nah. Did you see her after it?
No, he
I
wasn't
didn't
there.
know until later on.
No, I
Probably
didn't
the
tell
last
you.
phone call that got made.
Lindsey, John Lewis commented in and said, "Ask LG how awesome it is to wear Crocs."
I love Crocs at the dunes.
She's ridiculous.
At the dunes, it's like literally the best option because you're
sand.
Yeah,
Like you
the
just-
sand falls out. You have airflow. You can wear socks with them.
There
so
you go,
don't
Cody
get it in
Sanders.
your
F your
toes.
Uggs, dude. I'm not into the Uggs.
Crocs are great at the dunes.
Yeah, I wear Uggs.
I saw a dude today, and honestly, I'm not trying to be offensive to the dude because I thought he was like the awesomest dude at QT today. So I will roll into the convenience store. He's got a pink shirt, white shorts, and like a pink button up, and the brightest pink Crocs you've ever seen. However, they weren't like looking like girl Crocs. They had traction on the side like a fucking BF Goodrich, dude. And he had them in 4-wheel drive. Like these must have been like
He was
the
strapped on the back,
He
ready
was
to
the
on
ride.
manliest pink Crocs you've ever seen in your life, dude. Like I don't even know where you buy those.
Yeah, I've never seen those.
They had
tell you.
they had full side knobbies on the whole thing. It was pretty badass, man. So yeah, kudos to the Crocs and F the Uggs, Cody. All right, so growing up and having those opportunities, where does it kind of take you? You learn a lot, and then you want to go to school. Like, how does that all transpire?
I hated school, but
Same.
I did go to college. My mom went to college, and she's a very
My mom went to college.
successful lady. But no, I just wanted to go. I didn't like the school aspect, like I guess the social part of it really. I was just very like, and like we've talked about, the racing community is really like a family, and I got so used to that aspect of everything that when I went to school, I was like, you guys are lame. Like, you guys don't like to do the stuff that I do, and you don't like to go to Mexico or ride dirt bikes or whatever.
There
And
is
so,
a big disconnect, right?
yeah, and so I didn't really find those connections at school like I did at the races, so I just would prefer to do that. But I did like learning. Like, I was a nerd. I did really well in school, and so I went to college, and I knew that I wanted to do the kind of marketing, branding thing. So I went and got a degree in visual communication, which is basically what I do now for a living. And it's really cool to be able to combine like the stuff that I went to school for and the stuff that I enjoy doing like in this industry and kind of bring the two together.
It's almost a perfect match, though, because you learned that the whole time growing up.
Yeah.
So you see gaps, you see what did it good, who did it bad, like
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet, man. And RJ, I kind of feel like she's being a little bit humble because, you know, she's like really smart. And she was saying that, you know, like she got good grades and hated school. But that also leads to extra effort because you just want to get out there and get to work, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I graduated in 3 years, just under 3 years, just to get out. And then right when I got out of school, I worked for Rigid, and it's funny because that was actually an unpaid internship that I went and did, and now it's probably been 3 or 4 years, and Rigid just hired me on a couple months ago to do some social media stuff. So
As a
to see
consultant?
that, yeah,
Dude.
so to see that kind of turn around and be
Full
able
circle.
to, yeah. So that was a cool moment for me, but
That is super cool, man. We got a couple people comment in. Seth Durkin said, I'm with Lindsey on the Crocs in the sand. And then YZ450 Tap said LG should have her own Crocs. Do they have like a custom Croc builder?
oh,
Like the Vans ones?
you can
Yeah.
put little. I know you can put little like jewels and stuff in them. Little
Oh, yeah, they
rubber
have
pieces.
accessories for Crocs. I've seen
I have
that.
the taco ones.
Honestly,
You know what? That might be a side business for Gnarly Carly.
Oh,
She might be
yeah.
accessorizing Crocs.
There you go. Might have to hit her up on that.
Yeah.
why is she good at doing little accessories and stuff
She does
like that?
a lot of hats.
Yeah.
She
Plug
does, like,
for
custom
Gnarly Carly.
hats.
She makes all the girls really, really dope custom hats and like
I have like 90 of them at this point.
yeah, I even started getting a collection. Yeah, so shout out to her. That was a great small business right there. If anybody's looking, if you have a business or you have an idea or you want to get some custom stuff done for your girlfriend or for yourself, Gnarly Carly does some really, really cool stuff.
Gnarly Carly sounds like a pretty cool
What's
name.
up?
Hey, so we have good old Ryan Edwards from KMC Wheels on the line. What's up, Ryan? How are you, buddy?
what's happening. I guess I was having some technical difficulties.
Dude, it's probably us. Our technical night has been just like,
rough.
yeah. Lindsey got.
Tech masters over there.
Dude, I don't know. Well, Lindsey was hooking up the tech
I was
earlier.
say you called me the tech master earlier, but apparently I didn't pull through.
I think I gave you all the good tech goodness, and it got taken away from me. But hey, what's going on, bud? How was DP4 this weekend?
It was fun. It was fun to race at night and, get behind the wheel. I actually finished, so that's always fun.
Hey.
No ball joint
breaking things
issues?
anymore. No, we're done with that.
Right on, man. So was there a lot of people out there? Was there a lot of people in your class?
Yeah, I think actually the production turbo class was 30 people.
Nice.
And then I think there was like 80 cars overall. It was a pretty good turnout.
Dude, Lindsey, you can probably attest to this. Like, all of these races, these local series, everybody's getting such like record numbers now.
Oh, yeah. No, it's insane. I think people are excited to get back out, so everyone's just going to whatever they can, which is really cool to see it still booming after a year of being kind of shut down.
Hey, so we were talking the difference between trophy trucks and UTVs now, but you got to give kudos to the UTV guys because they're the ones blowing the numbers up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they're keeping it alive, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan, did you see this blue car behind us? It's got some pretty sick wheels on it.
Yeah, I think that car is pretty fancy if I recall.
Have you ever seen this car in real life or no?
I've never seen it. I've seen some really good pictures of it, but
hey, I'm telling you, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna start discussing this car in a little bit with RJ, but I'll just like preface it a little bit. I saw the carbon fiber dash, and I just like literally my tongue fell out. It was so sick.
Yeah, that's the Gucci mobile right there.
Dude, it really is.
You know what though? KMC came in hard for us on this one, and but Ryan always does. You've been a great adversary for all of us in UTV and with whatever brand you have. I mean, it's been amazing. KMC really on a lot of our builds this year have really been the difference in kind of the cherry on top. So kudos to KMC for putting out seriously quality products, and Ryan always standing behind not only the racers but builders and things like that. That's what a lot of people don't understand. It's not about the relationships that you see just on the race course. He's been an adversary for all of us, small shops, big shops, anybody putting effort into this community. Ryan's been a big help in pushing,
that's
product.
Industry elevation, right?
100%. 100%.
You got to stay in it. I mean, that's the only way you grow the brands is helping out guys like you that are out there in front of people and keeping things moving forward. So it's always fun to work with you guys.
Yeah, and I was fortunate enough, I met Ryan obviously through Lindsey, but any phone call we've made or any project that we've been cooking up or anything like that, KMC's always been and Ryan's been a supporter of it. And that's hard to do. It's hard for people to buy into your vision and want to do that because everybody wants product. Everybody wants something. I can't.
Well, if you do want to,
and I can't imagine Ryan's phone. He's probably got like do not disturb past like 5 o'clock, and like it's how many. So who probably hits you up?
I'm gonna have to be a 2-phone guy here real soon.
Dude, Christian Serapis, 11 p.m. You should hear the stories. Christian Serapis, dude.
I can't imagine.
It's not even like one word. It's a paragraph.
All right, so who hits you up more, Serapis or Corey Geiser?
I think Corey Geiser is the first one I've tried blocking.
Corey's got him on every social aspect now. He's DMing him on TikTok at this point.
So he goes from text messaging, doesn't get an answer, goes to Instagram, then goes
emailing
to Facebook.
him.
Instagram, all of it, emails.
Oh man! Well, Ryan, we appreciate you and everything you've done for us. But the KMC and the Wheel Pros guys, they've been phenomenal to work with, and it's always been a really, really good addition to anything we've been building.
Hey, so I had an idea, and I think Ryan can get behind this. They have such a cool lobby and shop here, Ryan. I don't know if you've ever been here and check it out.
No, Ryan, you haven't been here.
Next time I come
to Arizona very often.
Next time I come to Arizona, I think maybe we should get a little wheel display and put it out front in the shop, dude. It's pretty badass.
That should be like ground zero for our sales right there.
There you go.
The amount of product those guys pump out over there.
Talking about product and pumping it out, you can get all this apparel, this KMC apparel. I don't know if you can get a camo hat because that thing looks pretty official at wheelmerch.com. So go over there and check it out.
Just don't give Lindsey your login, because then you'll have like $1,000 bill.
I behaved.
Yeah, hey, to be honest, when she was like, hey, do you guys want anything from KMC? She literally limited us to one article apiece.
Oh, okay.
It's like Ryan will yell at me, won't let us order anything else.
But we appreciate
Man,
it.
should I do this? Like, I don't know if this would be good, but then I'm like, you know what? It's Lindsey. If it was Corey,
It'd be a different story.
That's hilarious.
Oh, man.
Hey, so we we had a couple comments come in. I'm going to give Cody's comment first. So Cody said Ryan Edwards needs to get back on that Yamaha. LOL.
oh, shit. That's OG days.
Dude, what happened to your Yamaha? Did you sell that thing?
Sold it and went to Australia, actually.
No way.
Yeah, I sold it for like 25 grand.
What?
And put it on a container and shipped it to Australia.
That thing was pretty official, though.
There you go.
Yeah, that thing was dope. Supercharger, everything. Like, it had everything you could do to it.
I guess I got a question for you. So racing for you, what do you see in the next year or next season? What do you want to do with it?
I think the biggest thing with me personally racing is just being involved with everyone.
Yeah.
It gives me a different, perspective. Like, I can sit behind the desk all day and watch you guys do this stuff, but to actually be out there and involved, and the content we get from it's next to none, because we're in the pits, we're lining up with Dustin Jones. Like, it's a whole thing. Like, I love the win, don't get me wrong, but it's not about that. It's about just being out there, rubbing elbows with you guys, and giving us some street credibility.
Are you enjoying the class?
I absolutely love it. The stock classes make this so much fun. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna dust off the car back here and take it to Glamis, I think in 2 days, and go out and do a photo shoot. So it gives me the opportunity to go race and go out and have some
like a dual sport your
Dude,
car.
it's so cool, though. Like, that rally class to me is like the best, dude.
I think rally's great. I really do.
Well, the coolest part about it is, like, I can log into my Polaris account, order the parts, and have it racing in a week, and then like parts from you guys and other partners that, like, if I built a car ground up, I can't get those parts.
Yeah.
I have to build them, or I have to like make multiples. So having it so accessible and so easy, it's a no-brainer. It's like racing a dirt bike almost. You just prep it, oil change, filter, maybe an axle here and there, and back on your way.
Dude, and Todd Zuccone just commented in and said, thank you, Ryan, for your support. We really appreciate it.
Damn, those guys killed me at the last rally race. So,
hey, so he was telling me about his results at DP4 this past week, and I think he said 6th in class or something. But overall, what'd you get, dude? You were like killing overall.
I was 3rd in class and 12th
Third,
overall.
Dude,
Dang,
congratulations, man.
Thank you. It was pretty fun. And for like the first night race to do all by myself and my brother in the passenger seat, never being in a night race, like, I felt like I did pretty good.
How did you feel like your pace was, dude? Because that seems pretty fast.
The first 3 laps, I felt like we were consistent. And then end of 3, 4, we put on actually a heater. And then the 5th lap went all downhill. It was just straight chop. I think it blew the back chocks out. Like, there was no way I was after.
Oh, man.
Dude, it seems like those rally classes are just so much fun, though. Like, if I was going to do it, I would go into that class big time.
Yeah.
It makes it fun to where, like, the family can come. Like, my dad pits for us. Like, it's stress-free enough to be, like, fun, but not, like, I think pro turbo where everyone's all stressed out, doesn't even want to show up. I
think the biggest draw to rally is that it's a good entry level and competitive. Yeah. It's not a wash class by any means. You have some really, really fast competitors in there, but you can get a car ready. Case in point, you look at Evolution Powersports and Jacob's car.
Yep.
Full rally car. Like, that car was built, it wasn't in a fab shop. Right. It was built here. Obviously with some cage and stuff like that, but you really can get into racing for a half or a quarter of the cost of what it is to build a BITD car.
This is where I prep my car, right here. Like, it doesn't go to a fab shop. Like, if I need something fixed real quick, I take it to IMG or somewhere local, but it comes here. So a Pro Turbo car, you never have that with. It's at someone's shop all the time.
Hey, so we're talking about how awesome the rally class is, but word on the street is that Ryan's going to maybe take part in the Baja 500 pretty soon.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Big 500 guy. Me and James Hill we're racing the pro stock class.
Dude, his face is priceless on that one. You look stoked.
Hey, well, he's probably stoked because
We're racing.
we get to all eat tacos together. That's what he's most stoked
There
on.
you go.
There you go.
George is gonna be my media guy.
There you go.
Big media guy. Well, I'll probably be big media guy on the tacos. We probably won't end up getting any KMC content. It'll just be all tacos and personal Instagram stuff.
Well, what usually happens is you'll be eating tacos, and then Lindsey, her dad, and brother will like sideswipe you, and all of a sudden, like starstruck, here they come.
It's when Ryan runs.
Hey, so since we're talking about the differences, maybe you can give our audience a little bit of a difference between the cars that you're driving now at DP4 with Rally, and then what you're going to get into in the at the Baja 500.
I think really we're racing James's car, which is almost identical to mine. He just put a 20-gallon fuel cell in it.
Okay.
But stock seat position, it's under the seats. Like, there's, I think, a 130-mile stint where we can't get gas, so there's no way we're getting that on a stock tank.
Oh, okay. And then some safety changes like solid doors and stuff like that. That's about it.
Yeah, I think solid doors and like very, very minimal. Like even the pro stock class in Baja, you have to run stock front arms. So we have to go back to stock front arms with gussets and then some RCV ball joints and, make it to the end. But
that's going to be cool, man. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys race down there. Is that going to be your first race in Mexico?
No, this is my first race as my own effort. It's always been in somebody else's car, somebody else's team, fill in type thing. But this will be the first full effort with me and James. James also, like, he's always done the same thing. It's always, hey, you want to come race with me or be on a different team? So I think this is our first time fully doing it by ourselves.
Dude, that's going to be rad, man.
That's going to be badass.
Hey, so last question for you. Do you have a favorite project that you've worked on with Jeffries Performance?
He hasn't even seen him in person.
Yeah,
I haven't seen him in person. I think Lindsey's car, by just straight the leather and like the look.
Everybody loves Lindsey's car.
Blue car with the horsepower is up there.
That is pretty cool that you could say that. What if they were to combine those two? Maybe this blue car turns white with some
like a half deal.
Dude,
I'm not allowed to build a white car. Lindsey said.
Oh, is that
I'm not allowed to have a Ford Raptor, and I'm not allowed to have a white car. Like, those are the two rules that Lindsey says. If I do either one of those, she's out.
Really?
Yeah. No, dead serious.
Like, she just packs up the office and bails out?
I could assure you, if I pulled up with a Ford Raptor, or if I built a white car,
she just leaves.
I would come the next day and her office is completely cleaned out. She would be so pissed at me. Like, she's got
that's why you have to drive a Chevy blue car.
Yeah.
Like, you have to stay all the way away from what
Yeah, no, I can't build. I wanted to build a Bro Runner. There was like a good 10-minute period I would really wanted a Raptor. After she finished hers, after the KMCs went on hers and the Toyos went on hers, I was like, I'm getting a Raptor. And then I was like, I can't tow anything. like if I didn't have a trailer.
You're the one that put 40s on a Duramax.
That's true.
Because they said it couldn't be done.
And you still can't tow anything.
I can't tow anything with those, but the 37s I still tow.
Okay.
Okay. The 37s haven't been in stock.
Got it.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
There's a little rub factor on my truck right now, but looks dope.
That's cool. Yeah, that is a cool project. So if you guys haven't seen any of those, the projects that Jeffries Performance has done, go to @Jeffries Performance on Instagram and look through some of their feed. Man, they do have some really cool pictures of up there. And in fact, the cars that aren't just garage queens either. You guys drove them.
No, we drive all of our
got
cars.
some miles on them.
I want to tell both of you guys the one thing I hear more at work is, hey, we really need some cars that look like the Jeffries Performance cars.
Yeah, I love it.
Well,
it at least comes up once a week. I'm like, okay, like, are we going to shell out the bill for this, or what's going on here?
Hey, you guys already know. You guys ever need anything, you're more than welcome to call us. Anything.
We're going to have to build the Gucci Mobile for sure.
I can just paint it different. You can,
there you go.
Whatever you want. You want me to put a KMC logo on the side of it, it's done. It's
yours.
Finished and ready to go.
I just got to give you the check, right?
Yeah. We could do a trade for a couple sets of rims.
Oh, there we go. Forged. But Corey doesn't get in on that.
No.
Hey, I feel bad for Corey right now.
No, don't
man.
feel bad for him.
Oh, George, if you saw the text messages, you wouldn't feel bad at all.
Oh man, that's funny. Hey, so before we hang up with you and get more into RJ's story, do you have any funny stories that you've had maybe down in Mexico at the races with these guys? Anything like that? It's pretty clear that Corey has some.
Corey's got the stories.
It does
I think.
involve Corey. What was it? The Tijuana race or whatever, Lindsey?
Yeah.
Was I backing up? I was in the raceline van with a trailer.
I think,
and I
yeah.
almost sideswiped Corey, and I had no idea it was him. And all of a sudden, I see Lindsey's dad, like, pale, ghost face white. I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "Dude, you almost hit me." I'm like, "No, I did it." And they're like millimeters from the truck, like full can opener.
Like
It was almost bad.
They were in a car, or they were standing there.
Yeah, we were in the car.
Truck, like, coming behind us, and I almost just filleted the whole thing open.
And I think Ryan was like saw Corey and was like waving, and meanwhile almost smoked the side of the truck, like in the fully branded van, by the way, like billboard. Yeah.
There might have been some Ducati lights involved.
Hey, that's the way we like to hear it, dude. You're living your dirt life to the fullest.
That's it. We're living it.
Hey, homie, well, have a great rest of your week, dude. We appreciate it. And
You too, guys.
I'll see you before, but just for our audience, we want to say good luck at the Baja 500 this year.
Yeah, make us proud. Don't suck.
We'll see you down there. Hey, just for you, I'm not going to suck, all right?
There we go. There we go.
Later, homie. We really appreciate it. Tell the family hello as well.
Will do.
All right, man. See ya.
Bye.
So going back and talking about family, like, you don't have those open conversations and laugh like that if they're not part of your family. Like, that's so cool that he can be like a company representative and part of your guys' family.
And Ryan's one of those guys too, where like obviously, if you've been in the industry, you know that he was with another wheel company before, and like it was no question when he went to KMC. We were like, all right, like we're going to KMC. Like it's just that relationship you make with people where it's like you go where they go, like you support them in whatever they're doing.
Yeah, 100%. That was like one of the first text messages I sent to him. I don't even think I said congratulations. I was just like, all right, when am I switching all my wheels? Like, but you're right. That's what drives you to pair and to use and to support is relationships like that, because you believe in the people. And
it also elevates your drive to succeed.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And everybody around you see everybody leveling up. And, Lindsey and I, it's hard for us because we see each other every single day, and you see, when you see the progression, you don't really, until you like really take it outside and then look in.
Yeah, because you're in it every day, right? Yeah.
Every day. You kind of see, like, you start to inch, and then all of a sudden you'll see a sales report, or all of a sudden you'll see, Lindsey's client list or something like that. You don't really understand, but when you see everybody around, like, you see Ryan and what he's done and how much he's grown from in the time that I've known him compared to Lindsey's known him much longer, and it's cool to see everybody start to evolve and do really good things. But more than anything, they're amazing professionally, but to the core, like, they're good people.
Yeah, 100%. Like, he can drink Tecate Lights, but then when you go to have a lunch meeting with him, it's, like, phenomenal.
Yeah.
Hey,
or when you hit him up for your truck rims and he ignores you.
He's a pick and choose kind of guy.
Oh, we didn't get to talk crap about him putting that exhaust on his F-150. Oh, well.
Running.
That's okay.
Cherry Bomber.
That thing is super cool, though. That F-150 is so sick.
It turned out so good.
Hey, they've been having tacos and trucks out in California like once a month.
I saw that.
When is the next one?
Yeah, we'll
it's like in a couple weeks. It's pretty, and it's all down.
I'm going this weekend. I wish I would have known that. Then I would have showed up with my 40s that he clowns on.
It's like 10 minutes from my house usually, so tacos, whatever.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Hey, so let's finish up real quick, and then we'll get to RJ's part of the story. So when you graduated, were you pretty confident that you were going to be able to just dive right into the off-road industry with the skill set that you had? Because obviously you went and did an internship with Rigid.
Yeah, no, I had no idea. And when I finished school, I was kind of like, well, I don't really know what I'm going to do. But I was very fortunate to get right in that job at Rigid. And at the time, Brian Godfrey was still working there. And he, like, if you know anything behind the scenes of the industry, like, he's really good at what he does and has taken and elevated a lot of companies. So it was cool to kind of jump into that. And what I liked working there was seeing, like, okay, so you can do this really cool branding stuff, but in this industry. Because,
Yep.
I mean, you see, like, branding for, like,
Coca-Cola.
restaurants and, yeah, Coca-Cola, like, these huge vans, like, cool branding that way. But you can do all of that in this industry, and it's just as cool. And I think that's kind of what we've been able to do with Jeffries, too. Like, we don't have to just stick to the normal branding stuff. Like, we like to be able to reach for the Coca-Cola,
The creative freedom.
yeah, like make a big deal out of it. Just because it's a smaller industry doesn't mean you can't go full out. So
Well, so there's an adverse or an argument point to that as well. And you say it like it's easy, but that's because you're the creative. So, like, a lot of people don't think above and beyond with that creativity level. A lot of people are really just focused on what's already been done,
Yeah.
and just keeping the norm going.
Yeah, I would argue to say that's the hardest part, is reinventing, because, you know, Lindsey's done an amazing job with us as far as pushing us and branding us, but creative and pushing it and pushing the envelope so that it doesn't get repetitive. Like, we don't try and do, like, we try and never do the same thing twice. Whether it's storylines, marketing, things like that. We always try and do things that, you know, it's actually worked out pretty well for us, is that we set goals that we kind of believe are like a fairy tale.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of them was the helicopter shoot.
Yeah.
We literally said, we were talking early on in Jeffries' performance, how cool would it be to do a shoot with a helicopter, this and that, and have like a chase. I always had this envision of like chasing, and Lindsey took that idea and blew the doors off of it. Not only did she incorporate a helicopter, but she incorporated a very talented friend of ours. Like, I met, you know, and Lindsey's been a great gateway to a lot of people that are very big staples in my life today. But Derek from Optic, one of the most talented helicopter pilots here, but arguably I would say he is what I would say we are in our industry for off-road. And for, like, when you think of a helicopter, it's Derek,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We got him to come out, and it was a really, really cool shoot because, you know, he had just gotten his first helicopter by himself. It was like, was it one of his first shoots?
Yeah, I think
His
so.
first
It was
shoots.
like right when he got it the next day.
So we had this benchmark of what we wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And truth be told, like, when you look at costs early on in your career or your company, you're like, I don't think I'll ever be able to afford that. I don't
Yeah.
think you're just like,
It costs a lot to put a helicopter in the air.
It does.
Yeah, that's what we learned the first, is that, like, you know, when we got that estimate, it was like, okay, so
Whoa.
I'm going to do a side hustle now and, you know, try and get that. But you set these goals and you try and push it because you've never seen it. And that's what we try and do the most of, is if we haven't seen it, or if something, or if it's an idea that's out of the box that doesn't really, like, you know, it doesn't seem like it would be within the spectrum of our industry, that's like what we aim for.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
That's exactly what fuels the growth, though.
Yeah.
Because if you just think like everybody else, everything stays static, right? And that's kind of what I'm talking about, though, is like, you guys have never learned to stay static. Lindsey, on her way home from the races, we're going to talk a little bit about you, RJ, too. Like, everything takes detail. Everything takes focus, debriefs. Like, everything has to get better and better and better. And that's the way you guys both live
Yeah.
your lives.
Yeah. And Lindsey's very good at recognizing, I would say, where our weaknesses are. That's we're very hard on ourselves, our we're our own worst critics, but Lindsey more than anybody takes it more personal and debriefs herself. Like, you don't have to say anything. Like, she knows, like, if something sucks, if it didn't turn out right, if this, then I tiptoe around those conversations because I already know that
thinking it.
She's already thinking it.
The answer's already there.
I sometimes say it just so I can like make sure I'm like, maybe she knows, maybe she doesn't, and then like shortly after, like a few syllables leave my mouth, I'm like, this was a mistake. I shouldn't have said this. But that's one of the greatest things about Lindsey and where she's grown. And like you said, like she went in a rigid, like I think that's phenomenal. Like for somebody to come out of college and go straight into a company like Rigid, who arguably at that point, or I would say is probably one of the biggest companies, and with their branding and marketing they had going on, especially with who they had signed for those years, she was, I think they were lucky to have her, but she grew that much, and then I think that gave her enough to just like, she hasn't stopped with a rocket behind her.
Hey, so read that comment from Caden real quick then.
Hi guys, Lindsey is absolutely killing it. Love watching what she has accomplished.
Yeah, it's exactly what you're saying. So Caden, hey, I texted you earlier, but we will go on a bike ride next week, buddy. I just have to get home from Arizona, and it's going to be a lot cooler than it is here. Yeah. So we're going to have a good time. And Cody Sanders also said that we need to up our couch game. I don't know, man. These are pretty comfy.
Yeah, they are.
How many times have you slept on that bad boy?
Yeah, he's saying you need to up your couch.
They got.
What do you mean? My chair's shitty.
I mean, if you just read it, you can read it to yourself if you want to.
I was trying to bypass it and give it to you guys. Hey, these couches are really comfy though. How many times have you stayed at the office and had to sleep on the couch?
None, thankfully.
Not
Thank
yet.
you. Shout out to Jesse. Never made me sleep on a couch.
I didn't mean that. I just meant working hard. All right, so
Lindsey, maybe Lindsey's the one who burns the midnight oil. Like literally, I'll come back at like 4 hours later, because I forgot something, this and that, and the lights are on, and I'm going Lindsey, you still here? Yeah, I'm just chilling.
Somebody broke into the office. No, Lindsey's still working.
No, Lindsey just plugging away. So I mean,
she is a trooper. I mean, she's sick sitting here on the show, this janky little show we got. She's still doing it.
No. Okay, listen. Deathbed. She could have COVID. She could have. It doesn't matter.
And your hats are still getting done.
It's not my hat. Trust me, I'll get.
I got you your hats today.
Yeah, there you go.
She does not stop working, and if she has to take a day.
Speaking of hats.
Yeah.
Dude, thanks for hooking me up, man.
Yeah.
So we got all these freshies right here that RJ gave me. This one is my favorite. This blue one right here.
When it matches your shirt.
Dude, I'm feeling the blue. And then this one says Gotti. That's an ode to the car behind us. These ones are actually cool. I'm feeling the red. But, dude, I don't think I can wear – how many hats? This is 6 hats, bro.
You have one for each day of the week.
Dude, that's crazy. I don't think I can wear them all.
You know what? I think that's a great segue into a giveaway. And I think what do we agree? How are we going to do this?
You want to give some of these bad boys away?
I think we should give them away. So I think everyone heads over to Rhino. Is it Rhino 138?
No.
134.
134. Ryan Edwards Instagram.
Ryan Edwards Instagram. And if I botched it,
at Rhino 134.
All right, at Rhino 134. And if you go and you blow up his beautiful Bro Runner,
his last post was his
hit it with a
truck.
fire emoji, multiple fire emojis, whatever you want to do. Anybody in there. Tomorrow we're going to pick a few people out.
Let's not do tomorrow. Let's give them a little bit of a few days to do it. Because the audio version
really grow it.
The audio version of this podcast won't come out until tomorrow, and usually it takes 3 or 4 days for people to listen to the whole thing.
When's the 1st? June 1st is.
Yeah, we'll do it Monday, right?
Monday.
No, Monday's a holiday. That's
not
okay.
Monday. Memorial Day. So Tuesday. Yeah, you will.
I'll be here working.
All right. So Memorial Day.
The 1st is a Tuesday. Yep.
Okay. We're going to give it out. We're going to give a few of them away. We'll do a few different swag packs to anybody who goes on. Is it Ryan? What is it again?
Rhino. RYNO 134.
134.
On Instagram.
And a fire emoji under the Bro Runner. First picture on there.
Yeah, you can even put more than one fire emoji.
Oh, yeah. You blow up a whole fire emoji. Whoever does the most fire emoji gets a I'm going to hook up too.
So the best part about this is like in my opinion, because we know Ryan, is not that you're giving the hats away, is that he already hates his phone so much because Corey's blowing him up, we're blowing him up.
Corey just texted me and said, "Tell everybody that Ryan just asked me if I would help him at the 500."
Yeah.
So behind the scenes, they're really.
There you go. So Ryan, we appreciate you, and I hope this blows your phone up.
So at Rhino134 on Instagram, Ryan Edwards. So, dude, that's cool, man.
Hey.
Knuckles for that, giving away these badass hats. And I'm telling you, this blue one is fire. This one is what deserves the fire emoji.
And those are designed by LG Creative Co.
Yours
All of our
truly.
apparel.
Hey,
LG
which one's your favorite, Linz, that you designed?
I like the new ones. We have a shirt that matches
This one
too.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a few more coming out, but.
Yeah, Lindsey did a really good job correlating not only the designs of the shirts, but hats to wear too, so that we could look a little bit fresh and like the idea of you can go out and match your hat to your shirt.
Christopher Panetto just said he's going to have to approve a lot of people. Oh, man. Poor Ryan. That's okay. Ryan's a big social media guy, even if he has to get another phone for it.
Yeah.
All
This
right.
might push him over the edge.
So let's kind of just like fast forward a little bit, Lindsey. And so you were doing your internship at Rigid. You kind of started doing all this stuff. And then when does the RJ and the Jeffries performance stuff come to fruition?
Sorry. Oh, yeah, so right when I was getting done with my internship at Rigid is when we started the other company that we were at before. And RJ brought me on right away with that one. So I've been with him since.
He already knew.
He knew.
Yeah.
And
Lindsey was my first hire. I didn't.
You're like, I ain't taking a paycheck. We're giving her all the money.
I saw, not only was she's talented, but I always look at what somebody's going to be doing 1 year, 5 year. You look at the growth or the trajectory of someone, right? So you're looking in this industry. I saw that there was a dry spell for social media and marketing, right?
Yep.
Our company, or any UTV company, and this isn't a dig anymore. I didn't feel like it was engaging. There wasn't anything that was truly sticking out, and there wasn't anybody like really taking that as a forefront.
Right.
So the first thing in my priority list was really Lindsey.
Right.
I knew I wanted to focus on marketing and social media, but it's hard to find not only somebody that does it well, but knows the industry and off-road. Well, here comes Lindsey Geiser, right out of Rigid, right out of school, and it was a no-brainer. And Lindsey, the one thing about Lindsey that you'll know right ahead of time, if you meet with her within 5 minutes, you understand that she's just real.
Yeah.
But
that's because she knows she's already connected. Like she knows the industry.
Yeah, but to the core, she's a good person.
Yeah, I
judge, like my dad told me, he's a long time ago. With 5 minutes of a handshake, you'll understand who somebody is. And it's always resonated with me. I'll know within 5 minutes if I like you or not. You're my type of person. And depending on how that goes, you'll get one version of me or the other. You'll either get somebody that's completely open and I'll trust you, or somebody who it's going to be a business transaction. Lindsey was just confident in herself, but also the one thing I really, really like, she was confident in what she couldn't do.
Oh.
And I think that people, they oversell themselves.
I'll figure it out?
Exactly. And that to me is like, that's what you need. You need somebody who knows how to punt, or who's comfortable being uncomfortable, and who will openly say, like, I don't really know, but I'll figure it out.
Where does that come from? Does that come from racing? Like, I got to know.
Gotta be Jeff.
I was just going to say, it's my dad, and you'll see, like, it's always been, you just figure it out. Like, whatever gets thrown at you, whether it's a flat tire on the way home from the race or something crazy in your life, like, he's like, suck it up and figure it out. Like,
flat tires on the way home.
The amount
suck.
of things that Jeff has duct taped, I'm sure, is like, but
it's not always like the best
zip ties, duct tape.
And that's a very, not a lot of people have that. And not a lot of people have that ability to, some people see roadblocks and they stop. And then the other people have the ideas that'll get you around those roadblocks. And it doesn't come easy. And you have to think on your feet and think for yourself and adapt and overcome. And that was one of the first driving factors to Lynn's, is that I had a lot of bad ideas. I had a ton of bad ideas. And
you
she
were
told
able
me
to figure this out in the first 5-10 minutes that you were with her?
100%.
Nice,
Like,
dude.
I mean, I met with her once and literally.
Yeah, I didn't know him coming in. Like, we had just met through family, and then, but
That was
That's
it.
cool.
And like, it was a big push for me because at the time I had a business partner, and it was kind of like one of those things where I believe we didn't agree on it, and I pushed for it, and you know,
I can kind of feel the dynamic though that works a lot. Like it elevates both your guys' game.
I think that she has a really good knack for telling me to fuck off, and that it's a horrible idea.
That's perfect though, because everybody needs
I need it. If somebody said yes to me,
Everybody needs that.
Oh man, if I had somebody that said yes to every idea I had, we'd be so screwed.
Hey, if you guys couldn't have heard the audio of RJ slamming this marker on the
Sorry.
wood over here,
Sorry.
he's fired up about
he's
this
passionate.
subject here.
I'm always passionate. When it comes to Linz, I'm very passionate because Linz has grown not one, two companies for me, with amazing blueprints. She has it down, but she's like outside of that. Look at the 1 year trending on LG Co. Like,
Yeah.
she built her own company amongst building. How many clients do you have? 20,
a lot.
30?
I don't even know right now.
Okay, so she came from.
She's trying to get less so she can sleep.
Yeah.
No. And if she ever tries to tell you she tries to work less, like, that's false.
So I do hear so many good things about that. And when you talk about working hard, there is a balance, though, right? Like, you have to be able to at least have some fun. And Lindsey does do this at the races and things like that. But I can speak from personal experience that up for the last probably 18 months, I was getting really hard on myself.
Yeah.
And this happens to you. It happens to Lindsey. It happens to everybody. And I was like, fuck, man, is the dirt life really worth continuing? Are there that many people watching it? And to me, I was like thinking, like, God, it's got to get bigger. It's got to, like, my goals are way further than it is right now. Like, I'm throwing all the way across the field, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And I looked this month, this like 2 weeks ago, and I sent emails to all of our partners because I was so, like, I was smiling for a day and a half because from last year we grew 400%,
Dang.
and from January we grew 210%. I was so stoked. And when I hear you guys talking, it resonates with me, the work ethic that you guys have, the creativity that you guys have, and the outlook that you guys have for the future, because it's really exciting. Like, you get down in the dumps, you can't see it, and all of a sudden you get this, like, light, and you're like, fuck yeah, we did it.
Yeah, that was our, I wouldn't even say it's our 1 year. I think shortly after that, I think Colorado was like really an emotional time for me because I'd always wanted, we built a family. Like, when you talk about family, like, you couldn't be hitting it more on the head. I don't hire anybody here just to hire them. We stay close knit. We have to like it. Lindsey actually, is kind of the last nail in the coffin. Like, I might like somebody. Lindsey kind of like.
A good example is some of your employees are working on their own personal pit bikes here, like right now. Like, it's super cool that you let them do that.
Yeah. No.
It's cool, man. Like, a lot of people don't get their opportunity like that.
The thing about it is I never wanted it to be 100% work. Of course, we have to turn a profit. We got to make things. But I wanted this to be a place where I solely wanted to party, to work, to be everything I ever wanted in a company that I would love to work for, and to be somebody that people wanted to work with. I don't think I have anybody that works for me.
How do you think that vibe is looked at from the outside? Because it creates growth, it creates spontaneity, and it creates creativity, right? Like, all of that stuff happens out of that mentality and that management characteristic, right?
Yeah.
How do you think it looks outside of the industry when you look in? Because there's always haters, right? But that's a driving force.
I mean, to me, I don't. There was who was it? Aaron, a good friend of mine, Aaron, on Instagram. He told me one time. He said, "I've never met a hater doing better than me."
Dude, that's a good one.
And it resonated with me. Like, it hit me home. And I just said this to a friend of mine who has a business, and he started up, and he was getting all
Fuck, how many times in racing does that happen, Lindsey? Everybody hates.
Yeah. And one of our biggest goals in the beginning.
Put the mic a little closer.
Yeah, one of our biggest goals in the beginning was I would always preach to them. I was like, why does everybody go at each other's throats? Why do people talk shit about other companies? Or why is it like that? Because to me, as a consumer, it would turn me off. But more than anything, this industry has more than enough money for everybody to have a piece of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
The reason I feel that people hate on each other is because they're not feeling like they're getting enough of their piece, but that's internal. Like that's something you have to deal with on your own, because if you're not busy right now in this industry, or you have if you're not doing the numbers you want, or you're not doing things
something's wrong
on a level, you're not pushing yourself.
Right.
Like there's times where I do the same thing to myself, where like I've literally like I built myself into this company to be the least effective person. I'm the you could take me out and this place would run flawless. In fact, Lindsey and Alex would probably enjoy that for a couple weeks.
Go on vacation.
And I take so much pride in the fact that I have people that will treat this business while I'm gone the way I would. But not only that, they take pride in their work. They work their ass off and they elevate this company every day. And like, unfortunately for me, it's like it leaves me with my hands tied. Like once in a while, I'm like day trading crypto coin, like trying to figure it, like
because the company's just operating by itself.
And that's that's amazing. Sorry, I'm having my ears like pinched in this thing. So
you can open it up if you want.
Yeah, I just figured it out.
Hey, so while you're adjusting your headset, Abigail Martinez, I think you guys might know who she is. She says, "LOL, I drive 2 hours each way to work at Jeffries Performance. Happy to be part of the family. There are some of the greatest people to work with."
That's Ulysses.
Ulysses, yeah.
Yeah, let me tell you about that. This guy. Ulysses comes in.
This guy.
He comes and at first I didn't know he was from Tucson. He really hit us up, and Alex was like, he seems like a really good guy. He seems like a good fit. And I was like, all right, Alex, if you think so, like absolutely, let's turn it loose, right? And Colin and Parker and everybody we have. It's like, how when you bring a new dog into a pack.
Yeah.
All the other dogs are like, hey, who's this?
Yeah.
Let me sniff him out real quick. Ulysses turned out to be one of the most amazing, hardworking, dedicated
Can't talk
people.
about having the sniffles right now with Lindsey.
Yeah, right? And I'm thankful for that because he does. He drives 2 hours from Tucson and literally puts his all in. He gives us every day that he literally doesn't have a day off.
Hey, first of all, that deserves mad credit because the drive from Tucson to Phoenix sucks balls.
Yeah, he makes it every week.
Dude.
And, hopefully here in the near future, he'll be in Phoenix in full time because we'd love to have him. Colin, Parker, even we have a new hire, Mason. Mason's on a little bit of a bull in a china shop kick. I think he's like roached my truck and like he just smoked my bumper. But everybody we have in here gives me the ability to be idle, which I hate. I absolutely hate it. I don't have any purpose right now, so I'm truly trying to figure it out. But these guys really take it on as their own. And, I think that's your core value in your company, and that's what gives you success. So if you're on the outside looking in and go, hey, Jeffries Performance has fun, has good people, and not only that, but, they're loyal and they're doing well, create that for yourself. There's nothing that's stopping you. If you're a company that wants that, like there could be a company.
Don't be a hater.
No. Don't hate on anybody. If you hate on us, you're more than welcome to stop by, and I'll give you the blueprints, and you can do it right next door to me. You can. I tell people all the time, I don't see people as competition, this and that. If I have somebody that pops up next door and has a UTV shop and they call it, Jeffries Performance, that's an obstacle I need to overcome, and it's another.
I have a feeling that you would help them grow and grow at the same time.
You know what? There's more than enough, and it just gives me another opportunity to prove the validity of what we do. And I would walk in and tell Lindsey, I say, okay, it's game time again. We got to elevate again. We got to find a way to overcome these things. There's absolutely no problem that we've hit and no roadblock that we've hit that we haven't been able to overcome, and that's our biggest strength. Is that I feel like, at this point now we have a bigger team. At the time when we first started, it was Lindsey and I. I was working on cars and back. Lindsey was answering phones and doing social media and packing and shipping. Like
we made it work.
Sweeping the shop. Like I tell you, there's specific moments in time that like are monumental to me. And me and Lindsey crying on the floor at the old shop, like not knowing what we're gonna do and how we're gonna make this work again. And we were literally
Like dead tired.
No.
We were just scared.
Scared.
Yeah.
We were scared, and I looked at Lindsey, and I'm an emotional guy. Like, I wear my heart on my sleeve, like, and it takes me no time to cry. But like Lindsey always gave her all to me, and it was the first moment I didn't know. She asked me. I think the question was like, what are we? What are we gonna do? How is Jeffries' performance going to survive? What are we gonna? We got to do it all over again.
Yeah.
And I looked at her, and I was like, I don't know. But I know that we can do it.
Yeah. And now we have a clean slate.
Yeah.
And that was it. We had no restrictions. We had no nothing. It was literally her and I could restart that. The good thing is that we had the blueprints of how to grow social media and marketing. And we had an idea of how to just, I wouldn't say fake it, but like we know how to produce content. And in the meantime, figure out what we're going to do within the walls. Because I really didn't know. I knew I didn't want to do a couple different things.
It's a little bit of a fake it till you make it thing. But
yeah, but
sometimes that works.
It's not faking it, though. It's showing what you want, right? Like you're showing them what you're thinking and what you're thriving for. RJ and I actually had a little conversation before the show, and it's business minds that think alike, and that everybody goes through the same thing. I had the opportunity to be on the ground floor when GoPro started. I worked with them for 5 years and helped their company grow.
Did you know that? That's so cool.
So Nicholas Woodman, the owner of GoPro, called me when he was sitting on the beach in Southern California in his Volkswagen van. Very, very new. And he's like, I don't fucking know what to do, dude. I have zero idea. I'm going to throw all this stuff at the wall and see if what sticks. Like, I have no idea. And him and I had conversations like that so many times. Like, I can't even count them on both hands. And we worked together. We really didn't know what to do. Nobody had made a little camera like that ever, and we didn't. And all of a sudden, it comes. I mean, it's not me, just me and him. There's other people involved, right? But it worked. Mm-hmm. And those types of things are very, very monumental in the business development growth.
Yeah.
And you guys, like right now, it's still really etched in your brain because it was recent. Mm-hmm. But when you, in 5 years, in 10 years, you're going to be like, fuck, that was it. That's when we made shit happen.
Yeah.
It happens more often than not now.
Hey, so let's talk about a little bit about more specific things when we're talking about branding exercises and design, because Lindsey is a creative. You're very much a director in this creativity. However, you give her the freedom. But one of the best things that you guys both do when you collaborate together is branding and marketing is never about design. It's about the connection that you have with the people on the other side. And you guys both have a very, very good understanding of how to do that and how to communicate with those people. I think that's where most of the success comes from. Cool designs, obviously, but that's where the connection is.
Yeah, Lindsey probably can talk about this a little further than I can because it's her field. I would say
Well, give yourself a little bit of credit, dude, because shaking hands is just as much of the marketing as a design.
And he has a lot of good ideas, too. I know I shut down a lot of ideas, but he does come up with good ones, too. And one thing about RJ is he's always been, like, I'll tell everyone, like, he's a huge hype man. Like, if you have an idea and you have, like, I mean, the means to make it happen, like, he's always there to support you and, like...
The executioner?
Yeah, and he's always for it. Like if you're for something, like he's behind you and he'll help you make it happen. And I think a lot of like we always have crazy ideas here and we're like, all right, well, what do we need to do to make it happen? And then a couple months later it's a real thing. And
that's a good segue into actually getting into a little bit of RJ's backstory then, is where did you learn that compassion and that drive to help others and to support everybody so much?
You know what? I was very fortunate to have two amazing parents that, they were divorced, but in both households they had an amazing house. My mother she's got such a big heart. She'd always help anybody and always I would come to her with crazy ideas. Mm-hmm. And like, I'd be like, hey, let me flip this 450. Like, I just need $4,000. and the thing at the time is I didn't really know it until probably my early 30s. You know, my mom had gone through. She was a real estate agent in 07, and we all know how that that fell out. And my mom never ever let me know that she was either struggling for money or anything like that. And she could I didn't know.
That would be a gnarly time to be at work.
And I'd look back on the things that I would ask for or want to do and this and that. She always supported me. She probably gave me her last penny 100 times to help me succeed. I mean, I had a sticker business at one point. I've had so many different things that I've failed at.
The little entrepreneur that could.
Yeah. And she always supported me. On my father's end, my father was a little bit of a different, did the same thing with different rules. And so I have a combination of both. My dad always taught me that if you are pulling forward, I'll always help you pull that way.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are standing still or going backwards, I'll never help you go that way.
I like that.
So anybody who's making forward progression, wants to do something positive with their life, has started the foundation, has an idea or like that, I always feel compelled that that's where if somebody is doing the right thing and you have the ability to, whether it's financial, whether it's supportive, emotional, however you want to help them, you move forward and you do it. And that will help you grow yourself because that in turn, people support people that support people.
Yeah.
It's an evergreen chance. But if you do it just simply out of wanting somebody else to succeed, I feel like that's good karma.
I think, it's not just good karma, but going back to my point, that's in my opinion, that's one of the number one tools in marketing because no matter what happens, that logo is seen with the passion that you just talked about.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was I think where we grew a lot is working with a lot of people that had crazy ideas, Lindsey supporting my crazy ideas and me supporting Lindsey's crazy ideas. And that's where our branding, I feel like, is different, is we haven't seen it. Very rarely, and I don't think ever, we've been hey, somebody's done this and it worked.
Yeah.
Right.
We're kind of always what
can we do? Yeah.
This might work, this might not,
Yeah.
but it'll be cool. And we've had fails. Shit, we've failed so many times. Things if you look at, and I'm sure you understand it, YouTube and Instagram and Facebook algorithms are
They're
unreal,
horrific,
right?
yeah.
So you can spend $20,000 on a video, flying a helicopter above you, and this and that, and get more views doing a donut in the shop with a stock X3. That blows up,
Yep.
right? So you look at these things and you start to go and you analyze it, and you're like, am I doing it? Am I doing it for likes, or am I doing it because I genuinely think it's cool?
You have to do it for passion.
And that's where I think that we're we don't ever see anybody doing it,
right?
And we're all right, cool, let's rock it out.
And those things might get less likes, but you see the mentions of it even a year later. They're like, oh, we loved that video that you did, and maybe it didn't get as much publicity or whatever that something else did that went viral,
but it's stuck in their brain.
It's something that they'll remember and that they
that's exactly my point, is you connected with the people.
And people get too fixated on likes, because here's what I ask myself this all the time. I don't know if you've asked yourself this. How many times do I look and see how many people liked something?
I usually try not to, honestly. I've done it a million times.
But not on my personal stuff, right? Or not on our JP stuff, right? Have I ever scrolled through and saw something cool and be like, that's not cool because it only got 100 likes?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Fuck, that kind of sucks, because we all judge like that.
We're all so focused on how many likes something gets. But if you put out a cool piece of content, ask yourself if you ask 20 people in a row, do you actually look at how many likes something got?
Dude, but that's true, though, because, I think it's an argument point to what you're saying is, I'll go on and I'm not doing it because I'm a hater, but, I'll go on and I'll look at Axel Hodges. He'll get so many views, and I'll be like, damn it. You son of a... But I'll be, pumped for him, but I'll be pissed because I want that.
But here's what you can do that helps you out with that. If you go to any YouTube, anything like that, go to their early stuff. Go to the real early stuff and look at the timeline of it. And like some people, they'll have stuff that they posted in 2008 and 2009 that got 136 likes.
Got it.
And you see the transgression and how much work. So a lot of people look at Axel Hodges and they're like, dude, blew up. He's got millions of views. And it's not, but Axel Hodges has been doing it for how many years?
Thing.
It's
No,
not overnight.
his whole life, literally his whole life. Like he needs like to get a handshake for that.
Exactly. And that's the same for everybody. So you look at it like before, you know, for us, I'm like, all right,
But you're right. Like we all judge like that.
We do, but we do it to ourselves. We're like, oh my God, like I didn't get a like. And that's the sickness with social media and this and that. It's like a necessary evil, but it's a drug. But if you don't focus on the likes, and that's what Lindsey drove home last year. She's like, we're not going for likes. We're going to produce quality content and connect. And that's what LG Co. is like. What that was your like mission statement. She's never paid for sponsored ads. She's never like done branded content or anything like that. Like no paid nothing. It's all about growing natural stuff. And I think we have, I'm not sure, we have 35,000, 30 something thousand that have naturally grown in our engagement off of zero social media, like paid ads.
That's awesome.
And I would argue to say, like, you know, you have people that like, there's tons and you see them all the time. Like, and I think Joey T talks about it a lot lately is like, it's actually why I
people getting paying for likes
for that, and that's actually why I flipped my stuff to private, because I thought like after Lindsey got hacked, I was like, nope, I'm not getting it, because you know you see people that 100K or 100K plus or blue check marks and all this stuff like that, like, and you're like, oh, they got to be doing something, but you look at their engagement and you're like, how do you have 100,000 people and 500 likes?
When I got hurt in 2019, I was sitting in the hospital and I made like a video where I was all fucked up, and I wanted to show people like what happens, like, and how you overcome things. So the storyline was cool, but that one single video in like a day, it got like, I don't know, 10, 15,000 people, right?
Yeah.
That same time, I got like 1,200 people that were all like Indian accounts, like all kinds of crazy, like nasty stuff.
Dude, they try and infiltrate.
No, but it totally affected my Instagram page because everything went to shit after that.
Oh, yeah.
Because nobody like looked at it after that because it like crashed my page or something. I don't know.
Well, that's funny you say that, because I literally sent the snapshot to Lindsey. I was like, I get like, there's like brief spurts and stuff like that on like my personal Instagram or something like that where I'll get like 20 like real sketchy like with that, and
like,
I'll see like, and I'm like, you'll see, I'm like, I don't want what to happen to Lindsey's personal Instagram happen to me. So, but you look at people that pay for all of those things, and
go follow LG Creative Co. on Instagram.
Yeah, LG Creative Co. That's her new personal / business because she lost all the goods. But I think that there's something to be said about people that truly create natural content and focus on that and not the likes.
Well, just like John Huppert's is saying online here in this Facebook comment, he said people can see through the things that are done for likes or if it's done for passion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good well, let's keep going talking about things that are done for passion, because you really did create this business out of passion. You wanted to have something succeed that was your own. You cultivated it and you wanted to work with it. But let's transgress a little bit. What were you doing before you got in the side-by-side industry? Because
I did a few different things.
well, maybe give us a Cliff Notes.
All right. Cliff Notes. So I started, I guess my earlier stuff would be like, you know, I was doing like stickers. I don't know. There was a company called Club Tattoo. A good friend of mine was managing and got me in the door, and I did stickers for Club Tattoo for a while. Then fast forward, got a job.
Big sticker guy.
Yeah, got a job at bartending in Scottsdale, and did that for a few years, which segued kind of into me being able to get into.
I wish you were our bartender last night at this, because we had the worst service ever.
Yeah, where'd you go?
I don't know. I'm not going to remember either because it sucks so bad.
So from there, was in Scottsdale nightlife for a long time and got into event management. So things like the Phoenix Open would probably be our biggest account. Like Country Thunder, big annual events and events.
So anybody that's listening to what RJ is talking about, in Arizona, those are massive events. I mean, we're talking like hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to work with one of the most predominant companies out there. I got I got, there's a few different stones that I had to skip to get to that point. But, I was in event management. I had an amazing job, an amazing boss. Shout out to Tony Weegan.
Shout out.
He was an amazing mentor, boss. Literally was like, he let me get away with murder without getting fired. But
that sounds like you learned a lot from him though, because I feel like
so much.
I feel like that tuned you up to be working with the people you are now.
He would call him we would have meetings, and he had a lot of patience for me because I believe he knew that my heart was in the right place. Like, I had one way of doing it, he had his way, and he really taught me how to have patience with somebody who didn't see it your way. But he also was, extremely detail oriented and would literally text me about the smallest things that would drive. Like, I literally wanted to cuss him out like a million times, but he really did teach me about managing people.
You mean the same way Lindsey sometimes wants to do it to you?
No, he taught me about managing people to their strengths. And this day and age, I think that's very crucial. Is we're not I grew up. And I worked for some amazing people. A guy who was like a father to me was Leon Hunter, and he works 365 days a year on a cattle ranching. He does big commercial properties. The guy's I think he's in his 80s now. Might have been, and he works 365.
Still hustling,
dude. Hardest working guy I've ever met in my life. But what he taught me was, he never cheaped out. He always bought the most expensive product you could use for that job. He never did anything half-assed. If it took him twice as long, he did it that way because he wanted, when he left that project, he was 100% correct.
Nice.
Worked a lot with him, and he taught me a lot about, I guess, my work ethic. My dad taught me sales, and Tony taught me how to manage people. So those three people were very, very crucial people in my life that molded me to where I am today and being able to manage people. So during that stint where I was doing events, I was putting away some money because I kind of had this inkling I wasn't 100% happy. And I had reached the ceiling. Tony was obviously my directive. Then, above that was Brady, who was a CEO. There wasn't really much room for growth. I was like, if those two guys either quit,
that's the only way you're getting promoted,
or got fired, and one of them was definitely almost going to get fired. I was praying for it daily. But Tony was a great person. I just saw that I had a roof over me, and that doesn't really work for somebody like myself or
with
a lot
ambitions,
of people. You want to succeed, whether it's financially driven or anything like that. It does. People say all the time, you should money shouldn't motivate you. It's not I don't know who says that, but money motivates the shit out of me because what I feel like is that attributes to what I can do with my life that I actually enjoy. So those two things were kind of hitting each other in the head. I was making good money, but I wasn't enjoying myself. I couldn't do anything. I was gone on the weekends. I was working a lot, and I was always on call, and I didn't really have I loved off-roading. I had a Razor. My first thing was a Polaris Razor, non-turbo. And, that was, my release. I got to go, one day I got to go out and ride that. That was my fun. And
so that's what drives you to keep moving forward.
And that was, I was well, is there a way that I can make money and do what I love?
Dude, that's what connects you to the people that you work with, though. Your clients, the people that come in, is because you know exactly how they feel.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that I never come to work and it feels like work because I truly love this industry and love this this outlet that people have because I understand you working your ass off to get to Friday or Saturday or Sunday or whenever you can go ride and being able to have that freedom to go out and do whatever you want. These machines are absolutely amazing machines. And
you probably get stoked when you see some of your projects get posted from your clients and stuff like that.
It's so cool. And
do you have a favorite or a story that you remember of a client leaving with a happy smile?
I'm very fortunate that I take great pride in the fact that I love whenever just recently a good friend of mine, Doug, he just picked up his stuff. He was super pumped. I've known him for years.
And we still, like, as big as we've grown in the last year and a half, we'll have someone write us a nice review or a happy customer post on Facebook, and we like screenshot it and send it to the group message, and we're all like, "Oh, that's awesome!" Like, we still appreciate that.
Yeah, that's the hard thing is that like we have grown so much, but people and I never want to get to the point where like people think it's big box. I will work as hard as I can to stay. I wouldn't say humble. We're very humble. Like, I don't think we ever have to achieve that. I think that to stay for the people.
Yeah, you just have to be relatable.
Exactly. I don't ever want to get past that because this is why I love it.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be big box or brand or this and that. Like, I love our industry. I love our people. So if you were to tell, like, you were to say, like, yo, what's your favorite? Like, every single person that comes in here, whether they spend $10 or they spend $100,000, I'm stoked on all of it because, like, I always want people to leave here and go, like, they treated us great. Like, that was, like, we, like, no pressure sales, or, like, they executed us. And we fail. Like, we have such a high, like.
Hey, before you talk about the failure, Lynn's, like, his passion, like, you didn't see what happened, but earlier he goes, "Hey, what size do you wear?" And I was like, "Oh, I wear a large shirt," or whatever. And so I expect RJ to just go get me a t-shirt. And it comes back and he's like,
me out right now.
he gives me, like, it's like, I don't know.
Replenish your closet.
Yeah. And I go, "Dude, you don't have to give me all that." He goes, "No. This is my favorite thing to do to see," like, and it was because he wanted to see how happy I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to give out merch anymore because Lindsey has a strict system. But seeing people wear my stuff, wear a brand that she created, or a different shirt, or to see like what ones people like, or just support us. Like,
just kidding, he didn't give me anything.
Yeah, there's guys that DM me and they're like, they send me videos. And there was a video last night. Omar, he sent me a video, and it's some guy skying off of a jump, and he's got a Jeffries Performance flag on, and I'm like, that's dope.
Yeah,
like, that's so dope. And then to see people in the dunes do like one of the crazy things is when we sit on top of the hill, I'm like looking all over, I'm like, dude, our flags are everywhere.
That's
like
sick.
That's so surreal.
Yeah.
That still gets me, like, I'll still well up on that, like I'm emotional.
You want to, like, and that's the way I feel about the dirt life too, is I want to shake everybody's hands, I want to talk to everybody, and it's getting to the point now where I can't.
Yeah.
So, like, I can only imagine, like, you're like at the top of the hill and you're like, fuck, if I had enough time, I would go say hi to every one of those.
Them. Like, I see them, like, most of the time when we're riding or stuff like that, like, I'll walk up and be like, "Hey man, like, that's really cool," like, and shake their hand and stuff, because I'm like,
dude, get a t-shirt launcher.
Yeah.
Start shooting them off the top of the hill.
That's actually a good idea. Things like that. That's what I feel like is our stronghold.
Hey, so John Huppert's actually commented in and said, "Can you get too big then? Like, can the company grow too much?" You think?
Yeah, I battle with that all the time. I would say that's my, like, biggest.
Is there a solution for that though? I mean, is it more people? Like, how do you?
So here's what I feel at Jeffries Performance, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. We do what we do well.
Right.
Our formula right now is really, really good. I have great people. I have great clients. We're more than busy with what we have. But as an owner, you have to see, like, where are your strengths, where are your weaknesses, and are you strong enough to grow? For me to grow and continue to have the product and the customer service we do, I have to find I would have, if we wanted to double the size, I need double the people, right? So I need to double what I have here. And I'll be honest, I don't do hiring seminars. I don't like that. I have to naturally find these people that they fit in for me to feel comfortable with growing.
You have some good partners that have done a good job at executing the things that you're seeing as a flaw. Yeah. Justin at Shock Therapy started from the ground and worked his way to where he is now. And he's done it very similar to the way that you are, with passion and compassion for all of his employees. He always hires from within, or within moving out, meaning like a family member or something like that. So there's a lot of structures that could be put in place to still grow your company.
Yeah, I'm definitely, we're ways away from Justin and the success that him, Ernie, Mitch, and Steve and those guys have had. They're a phenomenal blueprint for what you'd want to see your company do. And that's like, And that's hard, you know. You also see like guys like TMW, Doug at TMW, who's done a phenomenal job of like he built such an amazing brand. And I'm like one of the like I used to literally like I mean I guess I say this now, like I would cut out pictures of like Doug's stuff and I would have him hanging like in my office cubicle of cars, and he would be like my screensaver, which is crazy to me to like think about.
That's cool though.
And he's also one of the biggest partners that we have in a lot of the things that we do. And he's also a great friend that like, I'm so thankful, and it's very surreal that I can, but I look at guys like Justin, guys like Doug at TMW,
Todd.
and Todd, and you look at how they've grown and you try and take note of what they've grown. And that's like what I have for what I would say peers or role models and guys I look up to are that. The hard part is that I also know that like working with them, I see the struggles that they have of growth and this and that, and knowing that those guys and what they hold dear is customer service and executing this and that. It's almost scary to look at that and go, that's what I'm up against. Is like, it doesn't get any easier as you grow. It's going to get harder and harder and harder. And I'm not scared of the work. I'm scared of not having the right formula, and whatever we've worked for in here and everything we've done to deteriorate or even lose, an eighth of what we've built.
You're not a person that lets things deteriorate.
No, but that's where you have to make educated decisions. And I'm like, all right, well, we can grow and do double the size. And of course, like I want that, but then there's also a point where like, is it selfish? Do I want it to grow because of myself? Is it a financial thing? Is it like, what do I grow it to? Like how much bigger do we get, or what is that? What does that look like, right?
To me, it's pretty clear that you guys are doing the things to grow and grow with the people that you're working for and with. Like, I can see growth clearly in your future.
Yeah.
I think everybody can. But I think it's a natural growth. It's not a forced growth. It's nothing like that. And it all goes back to the initial conversation that we started tonight with family and putting people around you that support you and be part of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like all of that stuff comes back full circle, right? Because just think about the conversation we just had. We're talking about your partners. They're your family.
Yeah.
And you're learning from every single one of them.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. And I'm excited. There's also nervous. Like I always get nervous. Like the one thing,
yeah, Steve says you need to write a book.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe when I get to that point, I'll just write some notes, and then Lindsey can write a book for us.
All right. So one of the other questions that I want to talk about off subject is I want to talk about racing.
Yeah.
Lindsey's already been in some of the baddest cars, baddest trucks. You not as much. You asked me before, George, are you going to race anymore? And I said maybe, but I want to put that question back on you guys both, because let Lady answer first. Lindsey, do you have any ambitions to race or any offers to race in the next couple of years?
I definitely want to. I think that I've had the last couple of years, I've been mostly in the helicopter, which is not a bad place
Look at you,
to be.
bougie helicopter girl.
Yeah,
it's a lot of
can't
fun.
watch it from the ground anymore.
Yeah, it's too boring down there.
All right, be honest. If you don't have a helicopter ride at a race, are you less inclined to go?
No, I still like that.
Hey, Justin let me fly his helicopter one time. Oh my God, I could totally see why she's up there.
It's insane. It's a lot of fun. So luckily, since I haven't been racing, I've been able to do that, which makes it still a fun experience.
You kind of feel like you're still in there, yeah.
Yeah. And it's a lot easier on your body too. You don't get as beat up.
Yeah.
There's not San Felipe whoops.
Yeah, exactly. But no, driving and racing is definitely like uncomparable experience, and so I definitely want to get back behind the wheel. But
hey, so I'm
plans.
gonna end this by saying, because I want to hear what you have to say, RJ, too. But Ryan at KMC does it because he wants that connection. Maybe Jeffries Performance can have a race vehicle in the rally class and have that connection with some of the people sitting here. I mean, the t-shirt launcher was a good idea. Maybe this one's not as good of an idea, but I'm throwing it out there anyways.
I think some people enjoy racing. I have no desire to race. I like mine is like more recreational and this and that. Like for me, risk versus reward. I enjoy being able to go out to the dunes. I enjoy being able to go recreational ride. racing for me is like, it's like there's so much that goes into it, and I respect what these guys do to get ready for a race, only to have, you know, a minute failure or something happen, and
the $3 part. Yep.
To still have the ability and the audacity to show up to that next race. I have all the respect in the world for them.
We could just help out Todd and Jacob for now.
Yeah. They say, you know, you want to make $1 million racing, start with 2, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't think racing is in the future for us.
Aside from the money, the time that is the investment.
and here's the thing on you know, you're either a zero or hero when it talks to race car prep.
Yeah.
The guys that take on race car prep or are prepping their own race car, like I give a lot of credit to the guys that, you know, that take on clients to prep their cars.
Yeah.
Because you're taking a lot of risk, and no matter what, you're getting blamed for something.
Yep.
I give you a lot of credit if you're in that position to prep a race car and to go do that for somebody else that's driving. Now, you know, there's guys like Sims and Carver and a lot of other people that prep their own cars, and I have all the respect in the world. But I also see like that's a lot that goes into it.
So when we were doing the Yamaha racing program, I would make sure that I would prep at least 90% of the car before the race. I hated it because it took so much time.
Yeah.
Like I was already working my 40-hour 8 to 5, so to speak, and then another 40 hours a week on just the racing program.
Yeah.
But it was only because I would put that much effort in only because I didn't want somebody else to get blamed. Mm-hmm. Because I knew that the instant when somebody bashed me at the races, it was still me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, I don't think you'll see a JP race car unless, I'll put this contingency, unless Lindsey decides to race. And then I'll go all in.
That'll be cool.
I will go all in. She can, like, I will commit. This is on camera. If Lindsey decides to race, full ride, full everything, as long as you end up on the podium.
Oh, crap. So we got this contract with podium bonuses and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
That's funny.
No,
I do think that's cool though, because racing in the dirt life is like in Lindsey's bones. Obviously, you know, you're clearly seeing all of the stuff now. Like it's super cool to be able to talk about this stuff and understand that both of you completely realize the reality of any racing situation and what you're actually passionate about, because neither of you is going out there with racing as the number one priority.
No,
the UTV industry is your number one priority, or the off-road community.
No, I think that that's where the joy comes in, or the things like that, like, is people coming out of here, you know, of course, if ever, you know, like Jacob and his race car, or...
Oh, great. Christopher just said that we want to see it.
What?
I'm sure racing.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody's watching that has a plug for a 6100 or a trophy truck, there's a female driver that comes with a lot of sponsors behind her.
And some experience.
Some great lineage, and I believe that Jeff is going to pit for free. So if anybody wants to give Lindsey a trophy truck ride, she's open.
I would honestly like to see Lindsey drive a UTV, though. That'd be cool.
I would, too. I feel like that was great. But like she said, when you've done 100 miles an hour through 5-foot and 6-foot bumps in a trophy truck, like, it's kind of hard to get into a go-kart and be like it's...
Let's go.
Yeah, it's like, is this going to be faster?
This is going to be like a turtle.
Yeah.
It's funny because I always say that, too. Like, when I first started racing UTVs, my brain was still motocross. And, like, I would go into a turn or, like, down a straightaway, and I would feel like I could eat a sandwich.
Do you still try and, like, single out, like, like I go into whoops and I'm like, and I try and like, I'm like blipping the throttle, like, because that's like from riding motocross. Like,
I even whip the wheel to scrub.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'll go over a big hill and I'll turn the wheel so I can, like, try to scrub over it.
Yeah, you can't get that out of.
It's impossible, but it's funny. It's funny that you say that. Okay, so we're gonna start winding down the show a little bit here, but all of the things that you've learned over the different career paths that you've taken, can you say that there was a milestone into what has propelled you to be in the position that you are now?
Man, there's a few milestones.
And the reason I ask that question is because most of those milestones, when you talk to people that are successful, Bill Gates, we'll do Nicholas Woodman from GoPro, they talk about negatives that happened that propelled them to move forward.
I wasn't trying to get into that. That was like the first one that, there was a certain point where there was a very, it was a very negative cloud that had kind of consumed over Lindsey and I, and it was a constant day-to-day battle where we were just kind of waking up to try and figure out, it was like, the only thing I can relate it to is it's like abuse, like you're just waiting for somebody to come in and tear you down.
It just feels like somebody's always punching you.
So we went through a little bit of that for a good while, and then there was a phrase that was said, and that's actually how that car got built. Was somebody said that
this car behind us, Gotti?
Yeah, that they said it to Linz, and I think and correct me if I'm wrong. How it went is that she had made a choice to sign on to Jeffries Performance and stay in the position she's at, and that the conversation went, well, that's great, because nobody's going to know who you guys are in a few months. You guys are just going to be ghosts of the industry.
Oh, I love that, though, because that just fires the flame, or fuels the flames.
And I think she hid that from me for a little bit, but she ended up telling me a little while back, and then that was where this car got named. So we took that, and it was, after, a little bit, we're like, yeah, we would hit this milestone, and we'd be like, yeah, goes to the industry, and then next goes to the industry, and then we'd say, we shortened it. It was like an acronym. It was like, all right, Gotti this, build rolls out, and it was great. We like, Gotti, like every little thing that we hit, we were so pumped to not be a ghost and to prove that wrong.
God, that is so
that
cool.
This car, why it took me so long to build is that like every single idea I had behind it, every single thing that went into it, it had to be an elevation of this industry and things that hadn't been done. It was either, if it's already been built, it has to be from the top of that category as far as what, if I use suspension, it was IQS and shock therapy, but we integrated it into Motec, and this like everything we did had to elevate it so that when this car came out, it was a big middle finger.
That is so cool, though. And that passion doesn't just come from that person saying something like that. It comes from you guys already.
Yeah.
But that's just adding fuel to the fire, right? Because you can look back on monumental things that have happened in the world. The invention of the iPhone. How much Steve Jobs got repelled backwards, and how many people told him that it wasn't a good idea, and all this bullshit, right? And it's the same thing that drove him to that success. And it literally changed the face of the earth.
Yeah. Well, I remember,
not that a side-by-side is, but yeah.
Well, I remember, early conversations with, somebody that they didn't see the value in paying Lindsey what she was getting paid. And to be honest, like, she was so underpaid for what she was doing.
Right.
And it's funny now, because I look at, and not like I know her financials or anything like that, but I look at what she charges now, and I laugh.
See how hard she works.
And I look at it, and I'm like, not on your wildest day could you touch this girl, and not on your wildest day would that person have ever thought that she would not only be worth what she's worth today per hour, but she creates and does the best. And that's where not only has Jeffries Performance gone that route, LG Creative Co., and we've also played off of that each time. And those are the fires. Like, when people say negative shit, like, I think that's more dangerous than a loaded gun.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to see what's on the other end. If you're the type of person that thrives off of negativity, like, you can doubt me, but I live to prove people wrong.
100%.
With a vengeance. Like, it's like, it doesn't affect me in a way where I feel self-doubt. I'm like, okay.
But on the other end of the spectrum, those same people are the people that are undercutting. So let's just use it as a real-world example here.
Yeah.
When you want to hire a software engineer, a website developer, a creative, and this is the same thing in the UTV industry, you have a person that, let's just use, charges $100 an hour because it's an easy number. They get the job done quickly, effectively, and done right. Yeah. And then you get a guy that charges $25 an hour. It takes them 5 times as long, so it's already more expensive. Usually they don't get it right the first time. And then third, you really have to wait a long time, and it's shitty service. So those same things are all the way that people should prioritize things. But unfortunately, this day and age, it doesn't work like that.
It's like that saying, it's good, cheap, fast. You can only have 2 out of the 3.
It's the same thing. But it's in every industry. It's not just in Lindsey's. It's in your industry as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes with everything. Like, of course, we have people that are, less expensive hourly or, offer a different type of service. And, what I would suggest to anybody is, when you're shopping or you're looking for a company to work with and the first thing you come to is price, is don't shop by price, but you shop by, reputation. You shop by, making sure that person, like, it's very easy to find out if there's bad blood in the water.
Dude, 100%.
And
especially in this day and age.
Because it's, I don't think there's any perfect shop. We sure as hell, like, are not perfect every time, but I firmly believe that my clients understand that if there's a mark that we miss, hell or high water, we will right the ship and make sure that it's done. And that's where I think that, if you do pay for a shop that, is on the lower end or lower hourly or whatnot, and you get that type of service, it's on the backside where you feel it. It's where when things go wrong and things aren't up to par, what kind of company that is.
Yep.
We recognize, what we do and the reputation we have and what we charge per hour and why clients are bringing it to us. I expect that if they're not 100%, like we have, when you sign out, like it says, did we meet or exceed all of your expectations? If that's not signed, then there's something I did wrong or something my team did wrong that we need to make sure that by the time that it rolls out or that invoice is signed or it's on the trailer, it's met or exceeded your expectations.
I like that way of conducting business. John Huppert commented in and said, what do you see as the next big thing in the UTV industry or your shop being?
I have an idea about that. I can't really divulge it right now because it's something we're working on for this season that I feel like...
Oh, that's a personal in-shop thing that you're talking about?
Yeah, we're going to be doing something that it's something we're going to be getting into that I feel is going to be the next wave for UTV. It'll be completely different from anything the UTV's in.
Hey, John, I'll just give it to you. He's going to put boat holes underneath it, and it's going to be able to go in the water at the same time.
Yeah, they're going to be amphibious. So I guess to try and answer your question, the next big thing you're going to see
vehicles elevated.
You're going to see manufacturers really elevate their platforms. I mean, you look at the X3. The Can-Am X3 has had a great run from 17 to 21, with Polaris obviously being a very a huge contender. They're going to put something out, and then you're going to see Can-Am come back with something, and then obviously there's
Japanese are going to do something slowly.
Robbie with his Speed UTV. You have a lot of elevation that's about to happen, but technology I think is going to play a big part in these cars. So for us, we're going to focus on obviously big power is a big category right now. No pun intended on each one. So we're going to focus on high horsepower, with obviously using Evolution Powersports and EVP mode and working with them closely. They're obviously right next door now, so we're excited about that. But I think that I really want to focus on doing some fun projects, branding and marketing wise, because it's been a little bit since we've got to get out and have some fun. So that's kind of where we're focused.
All right, let's take it a little bit more on the lighter side then, because that was one of my last questions: is where Jeffries Performance is going. How about where's Jeffries Performance going on the next trip? The dunes.
Nope.
Out.
We might have convinced him to go to Hawaii for our 2-year.
No way.
2-year.
Yeah, we're our next family outing is in Hawaii. So we're gonna take the crew to Hawaii.
Dude, that's gonna be crazy.
I never thought that's where they would want to go. Like literally, so once a year we do.
You
one
you
trip.
can rent those 4x4 quads.
That might be fun.
Oh yeah,
you crashed the sled though. You got to be careful. Watch out for this guy on a 4x4 quad.
If there's anything my crew does, is we know how to demolish some things. So I can't imagine So
RJ, big 4x4 quad guy.
I love quads. I
He
love
was. He is a quad guy.
I'm a quad guy. I got
has
a
a
nice
The
quad.
4x4 quads look so gnarly, though. In fact, I think you were
This is
sitting.
like Dustin. Dustin's big into those. All the S3 guys are big into those 4x4 quads.
Dude, I think Lindsey at Parker, I think Lindsey was standing on the hill when I saw this dude on a 4x4 quad, and I kept talking to everybody about it. I'm like, that guy is the baddest mofo in this whole valley right now, because he drove a 4x4 quad, that whole Parker 250.
Yeah, or like the GNCC guys and stuff like that. That's wild.
It's crazy.
Dude, it's nuts. Like, that guy must have been like full gorilla status at the end of the race.
I couldn't imagine the arm pump.
Dude.
I'd be out. I would be out.
So let's start winding down the show here. You guys ready for this rapid fire Q&A?
Ready.
Easy.
You want to go? Okay. Let's let
Lindsey
Lindsey
goes
answer
first.
first. All right.
Okay.
Sounds good. Rapid fire Q&A to end the night. And if you guys have any rapid fire questions that you want them to answer real quick, shoot them over real quick. Hard shelled or soft shelled tacos?
Soft.
Ooh, dang. And some of these were submitted by John Lewis. So thank you very much, John, for doing this. Cholula or Tapatio?
Horrible.
Tapatio.
You're not going
Either
either?
one of them. That's an abomination on tacos. Are you
I like
kidding?
Tapatio. You like
Really?
Tapatio nuts.
Oh, that was something
Okay,
so
like
funny.
I like Tapatio nuts. All right, so Tapatio. This is you can't get nothing by
They
it,
have
right?
peanuts at Costco.
I hate Tapatio and Cholula sauce. It's Frank's if you do anything.
Dude, you know what like aggravates me? And I saw him like dropping off. He was doing a delivery at the grocery stores. Those Takis, I fucking hate those things. I'm like, those are so sucky. Do you guys like those?
I just tried
Alex
those
likes
for
them.
the first time
Ugh,
the
they're
other
gross.
day.
You like it?
They're pretty good.
I didn't like it at all. I just want the real thing. So, dunes or the river?
Dunes.
Dunes.
You guys are both going dunes. Both guys picked last week. Both guys picked the river.
No.
Big quad guy. 3-wheeler or quad?
He's a 3-wheel guy too.
Yeah, he's got a little ATC 70 over there.
You know what? I have more fun on my 3-wheeler, my little 70, than I do anything else. So I'm gonna say 3-wheeler.
What are you going with, Lynn?
I don't know. I've never really been either.
If it doesn't have a steering wheel, it's not about it.
You got to pick one. It's
I'm
rapid fire.
3-wheeler.
You're going 3-wheeler?
Yeah.
This one's a good one. Cinderella or Osborne? Because we haven't seen him at Supercross, so I want to see how they do outdoors.
I think Cincy.
Yeah.
He's been on fire
like-
at Glen Helen.
Especially how tall he is. Like he's gonna dominate.
Yeah,
the
but
outdoor.
Osborne has that fire, dude. He was killing last year, man.
It's gonna be Cincy.
Dude, I still feel like Tomac's gonna do really well too. Pizza rolls or jalapeno poppers?
Pizza rolls.
Jalapeno poppers.
I just got a picture the other day. I slid into our DMs of somebody's pizza rolls.
I love pizza.
Yeah, trying to convince me to go eat more pizza rolls. Hey, so you guys, we're talking about tacos and all this stuff, but you got to convince me to eat more salads because I'm getting too fat over here.
Athlete.
Yeah, athlete. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee.
All day?
I love coffee.
Favorite soda?
Um,
And you could even qualify this as like a mixer, maybe? Like,
Mexican Coke.
That was a good one.
yeah.
Because that tops anything
Yeah, it has to
on
be the
this
Mexican
stateside.
Coke, though, yeah.
Okay, if it stays stateside, dude,
That's actually a really good qualification if it's in the United States.
Yeah, I would say wild cherry
it's definitely
Pepsi.
different.
Nobody ever picks Cactus Cooler, man. I'm getting bummed out.
You always
Dude,
say
because
that
it's
too.
gross.
You don't like it?
No.
So the Honda guys sent me a picture of them drinking Tito's and Cactus Cooler. He was fired up about it too. If you could have one superpower, what would it be? Linz, have you seen that movie Jumper? We talked about this last week on the show.
That is cool.
Maybe mind reading.
Mind reading?
Yeah.
I feel like you already.
Oh
do
my
that.
God. We talked about being creepy, slide into people's DMs. Could you imagine if she was reading your mind instead of like,
help me.
holy
She'd
cow,
be so
dude.
mad at me.
Ooh.
I feel like
If she-
Jesse can definitely read minds. So my girlfriend's definitely a mind reader.
She's already got that superpower?
Oh man,
That's funny.
I wish I could have that.
Dude,
Like,
reading minds?
I would say I would only be able to be invisible. Like, and not for the weird
be
creepy
creepy.
shit. No, just because there's times where I just don't want to like you know when you want solitude,
You could just
Yeah.
disappear.
you can just like peace out and go do whatever you want,
Or you can eavesdrop on people.
or you could like walk through a bank wall
Yeah.
and just
To talk about getting
Time.
money. Dude, if you could read people's minds and you're on the starting line at a desert race, you'd already won.
really.
You could easily win.
And you could like know people's real intentions. Because
What if it was like a limited
Yeah.
power
they
though?
always say what they're thinking.
What would it
so.
was a limited power and you were like in a meeting or like at a conference, you could only read one at a time.
You go for the CEO.
You
Yeah.
go.
That's the only person you need to.
You go to the top. Okay, so let's change this. I'm going to ask two different questions. Lindsey, what's your most memorable race? And RJ, what's your most memorable event?
I'd say most memorable race that I did is probably the Mint. It wasn't great. I flipped a car, but
Ooh.
it was cool like to be able to say that I raced the Mint 400.
She did.
It was cool.
What about your favorite event?
We did the Phoenix Open, the Bird's Nest. Those are always good ones, but one of the most memorable. So Country Thunder, I remember it was one.
That's
of
got to be so gnarly.
It's gnarly, but so unfortunately, you get all access and backstage and everything like that. Like you just go wherever you want. Well, I ended up right next to. I think I'd been drinking. Definitely didn't tell Tony. I wake up in the morning. I didn't remember anything, and I was off at like 7 o'clock for like duties, but then we went and partied. I remember I woke up and my Snapchat story was like a centipede, 1 million long, like probably 100 snaps. Apparently, I just walked right through security. It was Thomas Rhett.
Nice.
And I just Snapchatted the whole time from his crotch. I was so close. I was zoomed in. I just taking like my whole Snapchat story was so close. But then like I had one where I peeked around, like there was just a whole crowd of pissed off people at me, and I looked like hilarious. A fanboy. So I would say Country Thunder is probably one of my favorite events that we've done. But I was very lucky to do a lot that I take for granted because now I'm like GA and I gotta go buy tickets.
Yeah.
I'm like.
That's why everybody asked me to go to concerts and stuff. And fun fact, my partners in California in my business were Mark and Tom from Blink-182. I got to be backstage and do all these crazy cool things. So whenever anybody asked me to go to like Country Thunder or all these different events, I'm like, I'm good, because it just doesn't.
Not the same.
Yeah, it doesn't add up the same. And that's not because I'm too good to go see music. Like I'll go and get a general admission ticket, but I'll just sit in the back and watch, like because I just want to hear the music.
We're kind of like that now because. We just went and saw. We took all the girls to G-Eazy because like I'm not like the biggest G-Eazy fan, but they are.
Yeah.
And they were. We got them right up next to stage.
Right up
like
front. It was cool.
they were probably like Thomas Rhett and me close.
Did they have all the same Snapchat stories?
They do for sure. But
G-Eazy's crotch.
Yeah.
Like I would. It's definitely like something I would do as a girl is Snapchat G's crotch. But like me, like everybody probably looked at my Snapchat like this guy is an idiot.
Let's see here. So, most memorable event. Ooh, favorite flavor of ice cream.
Oh, I'm chocolate for sure.
All chocolate.
Mint chocolate chip.
Dude, that's
You're
played
a
out.
psycho.
You got to pick something else.
But Thrifty's mint chocolate.
Oh, now you're going. See,
It's always
Hey.
the Mexican version that's better.
So, did you guys know it's not pronounced sherbet?
no, it's
Isn't it-
not.
It's not.
Really?
Yeah, it's not. We've been saying it wrong our whole lives.
What is it pronounced?
Sorbet or something
Yeah,
like that.
sorbet. Isn't
No,
it?
it's not. That's different.
That's different?
It's not sherbet. It's like sherbet or something. There's no S. I forgot what it is.
I know, but it's gross.
Caden, ask your mom what it is because
I love Steve-O. He's always like, did he rock it out this whole time?
I don't know.
If you watch this whole thing, like Steve-O, I love you to death, dude, and I can't wait to see your new TV show.
Yep.
And on this episode of Two Talk Steve,
So I don't know what we're gonna do for the live feed tomorrow at Shock Therapy, but they got something up their sleeve. Dogs or cats?
dogs.
Dogs all day.
Cat people are psychos.
Yeah. So, well, your dog got picked up by your mom though, Luna.
Yeah, she's a psychopath.
She's a cutie though. Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
It's hard right now because I'm in a YouTube phase.
Dude, I'm like on the edge of Netflix though too now.
You
'Cause
watch
usually
Danny Duncan?
What's that?
Watch Danny Duncan. He's the funniest. Like I feel
He's
like
a comedian?
I'm at that borderline too old to watch him because he's like got a lot of young. Like he's one of those young waves. But dude, he's funny as shit.
Okay, so we're talking about Netflix, Driven to Survive the F1. Like that's like blows your mind. And then I'm watching Startup with what's his name, Adam Brody or whatever his name from the OC.
I didn't watch it yet.
Yeah, talk about Bitcoin and Dogecoin and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a pretty phenomenal show. Like I'm pretty into it.
Driven's probably my favorite Netflix though. Like I binge watch that. When it comes out, I burn through the whole thing.
Yeah, I still think like no matter what, like you won't sleep for 2 days.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I still think no matter what, that's the benchmark for all TV for the rest of my life.
And you know the diversity between all of the teams.
Yep.
And how cool. But like, I wish they would show more of the Red Bull stuff.
Have you seen any of the behind the scenes of that series?
No, where do you find it?
Dude, the drivers are so pissed. They're like, fucking Netflix is here again. God damn it. Like, get out of here. Like, they're all
It's crazy.
They all get bent out of shape. Okay, Supercross or motocross?
Supercross.
Supercross.
You're both going Supercross?
Yeah.
Dude, since motocross is coming up, I'm going motocross, man. I can't wait to see how burly those guys get. This is a good one for Lindsey, but what other form of racing would you guys like to try?
I would like, jeez, probably road, some form of like road racing.
Pavement
or
racing?
drifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Le Mans type stuff, like F1 type stuff, like prototype cars.
I really like. I've been watching a lot of like.
I'm all about DTM, dude.
Really?
I love DTM cars. They're so sick.
Yeah, like I'd just like to get into any of that, but it's like I feel like you have to start as like a go-kart like racer at like 9.
Oh, this is fantasy questions. You can do whatever you want.
Oh yeah,
man.
then I would do that either. Dude, F1 fantasy,
Yeah,
like
I'd
I would
say
want to be
F1.
sitting right next to all those guys.
Going that fast and
Like, what's up? What's up, Lewis?
I don't know. For me, like I'd go like DTM or something because it's so like less of the car and more of the driver. But like if I was gonna pick between F1 and rally, I would pick rally.
Okay,
Rally
if you had to
would be
choose
sick,
one
too.
race program and trophy truck, this is for both of you. One race program, one team to go with. Who would you go with?
In trophy truck?
Yeah.
like team up with.
You got it. Like you could.
Oh, you gotta just be a-
You could be that team.
So you're just sliding into a driver's
Just
seat for
sliding into
anybody.
the seat. It's like, you know what? It's like, here, seat's yours.
Bryce Menzies.
I was gonna say
Your
that.
uncle's gonna kill you.
I was gonna say the same thing, that she should answer that because she could get the inside scoop on those trucks, man.
Yeah.
Those things are badass.
Dude, Bryce has been on fire. Like that truck's unreal. But
Some of the stuff, like my good buddy is Joe Whining, and he's done a lot of work with Robbie Woods and obviously Lindsey's dad. And
did Robbie ever finish that truck? $1 million diesel.
No, he's still working on it. But I mean, it's coming together. He's doing a fantastic
Cool.
job. But
Awesome.
I would want to slide into somewhere where I could learn. So
Yeah.
and I don't know enough. Lindsey knows way more about the trophy trucks than I do. I don't know about enough because I feel like if I answered the same way she did and said Bryce Menzies, I would just arrive and drive, and I don't want to do that. Like I'm way more of like a.
Well, if you want to learn how to get around things, you go straight to Jeff.
Yeah, so like
Fifty.
that's where I get the passion. Like and like I feel like I accomplish stuff when my brain gets bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what would drive me a little bit. Okay, 2 more questions: tacos or burgers?
Tacos.
It's hard for me. Because I'm
No,
not as
you're not as
dedicated.
committed.
I'm not as
I am.
committed. I would say burgers.
You're going burger. What kind of burger are you getting?
Ooh.
I'm gonna throw this question back on you. So think of your ultimate taco.
Okay, so there's a little burger joint right off of 40th Street in Bell. It's called PV Burgers.
What do they got on it?
Like everything you could imagine. Like weird shit though. Like they do like
apples kind
Yeah.
of shit.
no, they do like
pineapple?
they do like a Lucky Charm burger or like
Whoa!
they do crazy stuff.
Dude. That does sound crazy. We had a place called Monkey Burger in Tucson, and I would get like those little onion rings. I would get jalapenos. Like it was phenomenal,
Are you
dude.
a sweets guy?
No, I'm a big spice guy.
There you go.
All right, what's the ultimate taco, Lindsey?
Tacos in Ensenada, El Trilero, and they have massive flour tortillas with a bunch of cheese, carne asada. That's like my go-to.
What
I love
toppings are you putting on that?
Just cilantro and onions, and that's it.
Dang, you're going authentic right
and
there.
lime.
Woo-wee. That's my kind of taco right there too. All right, last question of the night: chips and guacamole or French fries and ranch?
Chips.
All day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, you guys did a fantastic job. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we really appreciate you guys having us in the shop and giving us the opportunity to come talk shop with you guys. You guys are doing a fantastic job in the industry, like everybody said. And I think that you have high levels of expectation, but even at the low level of what you're thinking, I think it's still going to elevate the industry. So I'm really proud of what you guys have done so far and can't wait to see what the future holds.
Really appreciate that, and same for all of us, same for the dirt life. Everything, we're blessed to be surrounded by go-getters and hardworking entrepreneurs, and everybody that we have in our family right now we're blessed.
Hey, so what should they do to win these hats?
You're going to go to Rhino, RYNO134
Yep.
on Instagram. You're going to check out that beautiful, beautiful, sexy bro runner he's got.
The faux Raptor 6.9.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be the first picture, and you're going to hit it with some fire emojis.
Dude, just kill his Instagram, please.
Seriously.
He's going to get so pissed at us.
Anybody who does that by June 1st, right after Memorial Day, we're going to send you guys a swag bag with some cool stuff and maybe, personally signed by Lindsey Geiser.
Dang, dude, throwing out the autograph session.
We should actually, raffle off a date with Lindsey.
No, please don't.
That's where I think, we would get some major interaction on that one.
Oh, I can only imagine what Lindsay's DMs would be like. All right, so on a
Could you imagine what her bio would say? It'd be like, trophy truck, check.
No, we don't need that.
Well, I'll just get you a freaking 5 gallons of mace, all right?
Yeah, for
Spray it
real.
on her.
You
Okay.
don't try her. She's got firearms.
All right. So on a serious note, like I said, thank you guys very much. It was really cool being able to hang out with you guys. You have a fantastic operation going here. So anybody that wants to check it out, you can go to @Jeffries Performance on Instagram. If you want to follow Lindsey or RJ, you can check out some of the latest stories and posts that we've done, and you can find the links to their personal Instagrams there. But please be nice when you go and talk to them. On next week's show, we have the legendary Matt Martelli. It's going to be pretty cool to talk with him. He has some fantastic plans about the Mint 400 this year. He's been really, really kicking ass with a lot of the projects that he's doing in the off-road industry lately. So it'll be cool to catch up and just kind of get behind the scenes with that guy. He's so busy that it's going to be really hard to calm him down when he gets on the show. So I can't wait to be able to have him.
That'll be a good
sit down.
show.
So it'll be cool. And thank you very much to all of our sponsors, man. KMC, EFX Tires, Shock Therapy. Just pay attention to the Shock Therapy live feed tomorrow. We're going to have a good time on that with Steve-O and Mitch and everybody over there, Chase, all those guys. Thank you to the guys at Zolander Racing Products. Thank you guys at Solderweld, and thank you to the guys at Cryo Heat. All fantastic people. So please support the people that support us because it makes us keep going and giving you guys the content that clearly you're liking. So we really appreciate it. You guys are our lifeblood. So keep paying attention to the show. Slide into our DMs. You can always ask me any questions anytime. I'll try to get back with you as soon as possible. We really appreciate everybody. And thanks to the guys at the shop, man. They were pretty inviting. And once again, though, we all have to get tacos one of these days. So
Yes.
maybe at the Baja 500. Okay. Well, we really appreciate it. Thank you guys for living your dirt life with us. We will see you guys next week.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show.